Playoffs, pull up. Let's do a little play-by-play. I know I'm late, man, but gotta get home, gotta take a shower, gotta get cleaned up, get some night clothes on. All that good stuff. All that good stuff. But what's up, man? We in the building. We in the building. We about to do a little college playoff football watch. It's kind of dark in here. I might have to turn on the light. So we get. Oh shit, no. Right now it's 0-0, 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Carson Beck with the handoff. Oh, and he breaks a tackle and he's going to pick up the first down and more. What's good? What's good? Yo! What'd he do? AV Vet in the building. What's good, my guy? What's good, man? You pull up, watch a little college football. Do a little play-by-play. Talk a little Raiders. Grim in the building. What's good? What's good? Got some studs. Got some studs in this game, man. Some studs. Offensive tackles, defensive line, defensive edge, receivers. Pass Carson Beck, caught, fumble, and he gets it back. Good thing he was dribbling. Knows how to dribble. Man, what it do? What it do? Eating a large pizza solo. Typical dinner. Shout out to my guy Grim, bro. What the hell, I said hi, Candy Angel. Don't get your panties in a bunch, or your thong, or whatever you don't wear. you know. Hi, Candy Angel. How are you today? Yo, double tap that screen. Let me get some likes. Let's get some people in here. The more you double tap, the more you comment, the more engagement y'all have, the more fun we have, right? Handoff up the middle. It'll be third and 1, 2, 3, 4. Third and 4. Yes, I was counting the lines. So I didn't know where it was at. Hold on, man. I gotta get a light. Alright, it didn't help much, but it helped a little bit. Now I'm pink, and I got purple background. Man. All right, ball on the 48-yard line. Carson Beck got 2 by 2. Running back on the side, single back set. Looks, quick throw, caught, first down and more. He will pick up another 6. What y'all thinking about this Miami game? Who you got? Who you got? What's your New Year's resolutions? Let me know, Candy, if you would. Make a post and pin it. New Year's resolution. If you want to be personal, you can post your New Year's resolution for yourself or whatever team you believe in, whatever your team is. What's your Raiders New Year's resolution? For Grim, what's your Seattle resolution? I don't want to hear win the Super Bowl. It's not a resolution. I'm quitting drinking last night. Okay. Navy vet in the building. I am about to throw these things away, bro. So that is my New Year's resolution. There's about 10 in there, and hopefully they stay in there. So that's what I'm trying to do. That is mine. Quit smoking cigarettes. And my new one, quit rooting for losing teams. No, just kidding. If I did that, it'd be over. All right, ball at the 35-yard line. In the gun, looks, passes to the line, caught, and another Miami first down. And Miami is on the move. If you've seen the post, if you've seen the thumbnail, right? Miami upset, question. Could be an upset in the making. They have a solid defense. If Carson Beck doesn't turn the ball over, Miami could pull the upset of the century. The last time these two teams met, I believe, was 22 years ago. 31-24, Ohio won. It's been a long time since Miami has been in this position, right? So they got a lot to play for. A lot to play for. Ball on the 28-yard line. It'll be a handoff up the middle. Oh, my God. And if he didn't fall down, he was going to the house. But he tripped over his own feet. Couldn't get out of his own way. Um, I thought it might be getting back together with her. Who? What? Huh? What? To break my personal record um, in the gym. What's your personal record? What's your personal record? You don't have to be that personal, but yeah, shout out. That's a good record. That's a good record. Want me to make a post about it? If you want to. I don't believe I just take what God gives me. I mean, that's a good way to look at it, but sometimes God ain't ever gonna give you everything, right? You have to go get that shit. Sometimes you gotta go get what you want. God is good, but He's also got a lot of people to take care of. So, got a lot of people to take care of. End of the first, it is 0-0. Defenses are prevailing. Where's the Heisman candidate? What did you say? What? Me and Candy are going to date the Raiders versus Chiefs. That's a good resolution. That's a good resolution. Put that out there. Keep putting that out there. You said I'm going to be in here for life, and I'm only smoked for 4 years. Nice, nice. I ain't quitting smoking trees. That's totally different. um, New Year's resolution. What's everybody's New Year resolution? That's the pinned comment, or should have been the pinned comment. I was just behind. My deadlift is 500. My bench is 450. Damn, Grim. You can go play football, bro. Got some guns. Wow. If you outdo that, Chiefs kid, what's good, man? Raiders low key, worse than my hairline. Okay, that was funny, bro. That was funny. I give you that one. That's funny shit. Um, that's good, man. I hope your Chiefs don't fold up like lawn chairs and just try to give us this game to keep us down, right? I hope they're not like that, man. He said he's gonna be on the inhaler for life. That means, oh, inhaler for life. What? Oh, oh, I didn't read that right. My bad. You should. I'm gonna be on the inhaler for life. I only smoked for 4 years. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've been smoking since I was 10. I've been smoking for 40 years. It might be too late to quit. Might not even make sense. I might already be dead and not even know. um, yeah, but damn, get well, man. That sucks. Oh hell no, never quit. Nah, yeah, no. Oh no, oh no. I will die with that. Um, Give me a second. I'll put it up. Nice, nice, nice. I got like a nine. What? I got like a nine head. Jason Ruiz, what's good, my guy? Appreciate you in the building. Appreciate you pinning that. Rebel, what's my New Year's resolution? To quit smoking. To quit smoking cigarettes. I gotta give these up. I got you. I got you. I got a 3-year-old grandbaby. I got one on the way in a month. And I want to be here to see both of them, as long as I can, right? As long as I can. And smoking those ain't gonna help. So it's time. It's time to give it up. It's time to grow up, right? Throw all the bad shit away. It's gonna be rough. The last time I tried to quit was 18 years ago when my grandfather died. I quit for 3 months, and then I was at a bar one day, and I bummed a cigarette, and it never stopped smoking again. So I don't drink no more. I don't go to bars, so it shouldn't be as hard. But yeah, it's gonna be rough. I might be a grouchy, a little touchy, a little touchy on here for a minute, but we can get through it. We can get through it. That and also to be better than I have been, right? Put more effort into this YouTube thing, put more effort into my paid subscribers. I got a couple of New Year's resolutions. I got some things Rebel needs to work on. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We get there. 2026 will be a good year for you, man. Appreciate that. I hope it's a great year for everybody, right? I hope everybody prospers in 2026. I don't want to see nobody at the bottom. The bottom is not a fun place to be. If you quit for 3 weeks in 2000, oh yeah, I guess I kind of did then too. Touchdown Miami. Okay, and Miami takes the first pay dirt of the game. Who was that? Fletcher? Oh yeah, Mark Fletcher Jr. on the 9-yard reception from Carson Beck. And it is 7-0. Hurricanes? Since I spent a little bit of time in Florida, I kind of got a root for the Hurricanes. I don't really have a preference in this, since my Hogs are nowhere to be seen in any bowl games or any football games in the last 3 weeks. Yeah. So I got kind of a little tied to Miami. I spent, 3 years in Florida? So let's go. Almost missed the extra point. That would have not been good. You gotta take every point you can get against a team like Ohio, bro. Is my screen that dirty? Or is it just me? Oh, that's a little better. That's a little better. My greasy ass hands. My grandpa smoked for 50 years before he quit. Damn! Crazy. Let's go Texans. I know Jason Ruiz rooting for them Texas Longhorns. And, I want to talk about that. Arch Manning. Arch Manning, bro. Arch Manning. Man. Now, I don't know if this young man is going to come out next year. I'm not sure if he's going to come out the year after. But whatever year it is, I would like the Raiders to have at least 2 first-round picks on that year. So if they want the big dog, they could go get him. Because, man, 2 touchdowns in the air, 2 touchdowns on the ground. I don't know how many yards he accumulated. But what impressed me the most was the fact that he ran over a defensive lineman and put him on his back. A D lineman. I jumped out of my chair, bro. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Arch Manning put a shoulder down and put a defensive lineman on his back, dude. Now, maybe it was a linebacker, but the number was high, and he was a big-ass boy. So if he was a linebacker, he was a big boy. But it looked to me like a D lineman, and he just put him straight on his back after he broke a tackle or two. So the kid's athleticism, man, those long strides, that long 60-yard run, 2 60-yard runs, I do believe he had. The first player in college football history to have 2 60-yard runs in a big game. Arch Manning is him, bro. He is him plus a couple. And I would not be mad. I would not be mad whatsoever. Y'all know how I feel about this, but I would not be mad if we didn't take a quarterback this year, and I would not be mad till we took one until Arch Manning came out. I would not be mad at all, no matter what our record is, as long as we out there competing and we don't get blown out 31-0 in games. We don't get skunked at home every single time, right? If that changes, man, you could keep your quarterback. Let's just go defense. Let's make it fun, right? Let's build a defense like these teams like Minnesota have, like the Patriots have, like the Bears have, man. Let's build like the Texans have. Let's build a defense with nothing but elite players that turn the ball over that ain't afraid to jump routes, right? Because they know the dude behind him has got his back. I want players like that. I want players like that. Shout out to the 10 people in the building. What's good? What's good? How y'all doing on this New Year's Eve? I will probably be back on before the ball drops. Just to ring in the new year with my people and 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 talk a little roster, right? Talk a little roster. So is what 7 now. The game should be over by 10. Yeah, I should have plenty of time to do that. Should have. Should have. My goal is to be more positive and care more about my health. That's a great goal also. Positivity is a great thing. A lot of people say you get what you put back when it comes to energy wise. So if you're constantly negative, if you're rude to people, if you snap on people, um, that's how it comes back, right? If you constantly think, oh, I can't do this, or oh my God, big pass Julian saying, and it is caught. Jeremiah Smith showing why he is the best receiver in the college football year in, year out. Oh my God. Put a little move on him and then just ran away from him. Completely ran away. Good pass by Julian saying, throwing the ball, let the man go under and get it. And Ohio State Buckeyes are in business. But like I was saying, positivity is key, man. The energy you put back out. The energy you put out is the energy you get back, right? So if you're constantly like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna get sick, or I feel like I'm gonna get this, or maybe I have this, or this ain't going right, and my life always sucks, and you know, I'm not in God's favor, or whatever, people use as their negativity. Just try for 1 month. Believe in everything positive, man. It'll change your life. It'll change your life for the better. I believe my whole life I was a machine, right? Never got sick, never had the flu, never had no, back aches. I set tile for 25 years, 30 years, you know, knees were fine. Well, they were, back was fine. As soon as I started feeling like I was falling apart and believed like I was falling apart, man, I fell apart. Oh my God, intercepted Miami to the house, 20, 30, 10, touchdown Miami. Oh my goodness. Julian saying the young buck with a bad, bad, bad pass. Waited just a little too long. And that one was cribbed. Woo! Miami defense. Miami defense. And I know somebody right now. I don't know where my guy is. And why he's not in here. He probably watching the game. He got all that money on it. But you know damn well Lawrence is jumping up and down right now. What's good, Chewies, man? What's good, my guy? I see y'all be rocking over there on that Cover 3 show. Y'all go give him a like, follow, subscribe to his channel if you're not already. My goal is to not crash out on trolls as much. That's a goal I would love to see hit, right? That's a goal we'd all love to see hit. Rebel, you should get a screen cleaner solution. Helps better than the shirt when you wipe it. I got one somewhere, but I just have to get up to get it. So, you know. He likes his Winston 100s. Oh God, no, I can't smoke none of those. Mine are American spirits, so it's no nasty shit. It's just tobacco and water. Still not healthy, but it's about as healthy as you could get, cigarette wise. I haven't been doing much better lately. I know you have. Rebel wouldn't say it's. Okay, Rebel wouldn't say he's him. Sure. You wouldn't say he's him? Man, just look at the pedigree, right? Look at the pedigree. Both of his uncles have Super Bowls. They were elite talents in the NFL. He is more athletic than them. He has a stronger arm, I believe. Maybe not than Peyton right now, but he's a young kid, sophomore, right? He's just gonna get better. And the skills, the people that he has in his building to teach him, to get him through, tough situations that, he might come across or whatever. You can call on the phone and be like, Unc, hey, Unc, what did I do wrong? Come over and let's watch film, right? So you got that to fall back on. I think, you know, you don't need the money, so you don't have to come out, right? You don't have to worry about the NIL, the money deal. The kid's got more money than probably all of us in here put together, and he hasn't even started in life. So he's got everything going for him. The ceiling, the upside is absolutely crazy. If he can get his passing game like he has his athleticism and his the running game, man, it the kid's gonna be special. He's gonna be special. He don't really turn the ball over a lot, right? His touchdowns are 24. I think he has 20. I guess what he throw two more this year. I mean this game, so he has 26 touchdowns to 7 or 8 interceptions. Arch Manny's going to be special, man, and he's got a long way to go. If he stays in school in Texas, or if he decides to go somewhere else, have faith in the Raiders next year in 2026. Um, I think I think it should be reversed. I think my New Year resolution should be not to have so much faith in my Raiders and not gas everybody up and gas myself up thinking we're going to go 12-5 and make the playoffs. Yeah, I think I should go the other way. Candy, that's a good goal, healthy goal, and maybe there's something positive about the haters. I'm proud of you too. Yeah, there's always something positive about the haters, right? For one, if they're hating and they still watching, it says a lot right there. Down to 170, 70. I was 205, trying to stay in shape. You're 170 pounds. Damn, 205 in my 40s. Man, you can do it. You can do it. Yo, download the Tai Chi app. If you're in your 40s or above, anybody in here that's 40 or above, download the Tai Chi app. I think you can find it on YouTube. There's always a thing that's going on YouTube. But man, no weights, right? No weights, so you're not straining your muscles. You're just doing, natural exercises, and it makes a huge, huge, huge difference. I was talking shit to Candy because Rebel saying Arch Manning. Yeah, he's gonna be good. When you think positive, good things come. When you think poor in life sucks, yeah, right? The energy is a big, big thing. Rivers retired again. maybe he did just come in for the insurance. I don't know, bro. I don't know. All right, handoff up the middle, big hole, picks up another first down. And Ohio State's got to score on this drive, or it could get nasty. Haven't been doing much better lately. It's nasty shit. It's still tobacco, right? Arnie Garza in the building. What's good? What do we got? What do we got? That's true, and I just started that philosophy. Ken Yujin, thank you for sharing. Right? Your mindset is the biggest thing. Mindset controls all. If your mind is positive, the rest will follow. Question is, what is your confidence level on Pete and Gino being here next year? 0 to 1, 0 to 100, or 50 to 100, 50 to 100. Well, I'm gonna go kind of to the 3%. 3%. Now I said last night, right? I said last night, the little birdie in my ear has been saying, keep an eye on Pete Carroll, possibly returning for the Las Vegas Raiders. If you listen to Pete Carroll's press conference today, it pretty much sounds like he thinks he's coming back. Now maybe he didn't get the memo. I don't know. But you would think if you plan on firing your head coach, you would let him know. But maybe that's, they did the same with AP, right? Ball on the 50, 2 by 1, quick pass, and he is sacked. No, he gets away. No, he's sacked. He almost got away. So I said keep an eye out because I believe there's still a chance that Pete Carroll could return because maybe the coaches, right, the coaches that they want don't want this job. And if that's the case, Pete Carroll could be that guy. But after today, after watching his press conference, and we'll go over it in my New Year's Live special tonight. We'll talk a little bit about that press conference. But after the press conference, bro, I don't see Pete Carroll being here at all. They talked about a rebuild. he said, well, yeah, I mean, I'm in, but we're going to hit the ground running next year too. Like, he doesn't understand the questions. He doesn't know how to answer the questions. Ball to the 50, well short of the first down. So he doesn't know how to answer these questions. And when he does answer the questions, he sounds like like somebody trying not to lie, trying to cover up his tracks. Everything he says, right? They asked him about Spy Tech today. He said, "Oh, I love Spy Tech. We got a great relationship. But they said, "Well, what's the problem with the communication?" He's like, "Well, I got to get him on the same page with me, and I got to do the same thing with him." That's funny. Last week you said the relationship is great. We've been on the same page the whole entire time. There's no conflict. Now this week, well, we'll have to talk about it after the season. So Pete Carroll is full of shit, and I believe there are smart enough people in the building to realize Pete Carroll is full of shit, and everything that comes out of his mouth is bullshit. And therefore, I believe it's gonna take a miracle. Now, I said yesterday on my lives and the day before that Pete Carroll could come back because of Mark Davis and because of Max Crosby, right? If Max Crosby wants him back and says same thing he did with AP, man, if Pete Carroll doesn't come back, I might be moving on. I think that could keep Pete Carroll's job, and I think that's the only way. So basically, it's all up to Max. If Max wants to fight for Pete Carroll, he's got a chance. If Max doesn't, then he doesn't have a chance. And Max Crosby just did an interview recently where he said he don't care what's going on outside noise. He's showing up to the building for his players, for his teammates, and I think that says it all about where he stands on the coaching staff. So Pete Carroll, I went from a 50 chance yesterday to probably like a 10% chance today. Welcome, Grandpa. Will the attack? I said for Illinois. No, I said 12-5. 13-4 was last year. Oh God. Greg Brewer, congratulations on your progress. Right? Happy to hear too, for sure. Up here, salute. What else we got? Hayden, thank you. 40 and above. It's almost bedtime for y'all, isn't it? You're a clown, bro. I'm 50 years old. I sleep like shit, a couple hours a night. I'm up till 2, 3 in the morning. Past my bedtime. It's funny though. Raiders are treating the last game like it's a preseason. Kenny Pickett first half, AOC second. Can AOC lead us to a win? Arnie Garza, you already know the answer to this. We already know the answer. I don't know why we got to talk about this. Yes, yes, and yes, yes. He has been the Chiefs' killer. He knows the defense. He knows Spagnola. He knows what he's trying to run over there. They don't have all their starters. They're benching a lot of people. If you could keep AOC upright, which, if you put in Charles Grant and you put in, Caleb Rogers, I think this offensive line is a lot better. And I think they'll fight for AOC. And I believe that's a huge problem. It's a huge problem for us. Now, on the other hand, I told y'all what we had to have happen last night, right? The Cleveland Browns got to win. The Saints got to beat the Texans. The Saints got to beat the Atlanta Falcons, right? The Broncos have to lose, and somebody else. I'll look it up here in a second. But we need a lot of things to happen if the Giants lose and we win. We'd have to have like four or five teams have to win games that probably they don't have a chance of winning. Probably we have a better chance than them. Handoff from the 10, and he picks up 14-0 with 8:26 left. Let's see if I can find it in my notes real quick. Damn it, I hope that don't go away. Fuck, I needed that. Shit. Notes. Yep, here we go. All right. So if the Las Vegas Raiders happen to win against the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday and the Giants happen to lose, the Raiders could still have the number 1 overall pick, even if the Giants lose. And this is how. San Francisco 49ers have to beat the Seattle Seahawks. That's a, 50-50, right? 49ers have been playing very well. I do believe Seattle beat them in the first matchup. I'm not positive. Somebody let me know. Arnie Garza, Candy Angel, somebody, what happened in their first matchup. But San Francisco has to beat Seattle. The Cincinnati Bengals have to beat the Cleveland Browns. I don't see that being too hard. Joe Burrow has been hot lately. They're starting to get Chase. Chase is starting to get up there. You got Higgins. The run game came off a little bit, so the Bengals beating the Cleveland Browns shouldn't be a daunting task, but it very well could be, right? And then you got to have the New Orleans Saints, like I said, beat the Atlanta Falcons, and you got to have the Detroit Lions beat the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears can't really afford to lose this game. They are fighting for their lives. So it is a very, very, very sticky situation, right? If you're a Raider fan, nobody wants to lose to the Chiefs at home, right? We're dominated by the Chiefs constantly, unless Aiden O'Connell has been in the game. We've beat them on Christmas Day. The following year, Aiden O'Connell put up 340 yards and 2 touchdowns, and we lost the game because of a botched snap. So, with Aiden O'Connell in the second half, I'm scared to death. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really nervous. So, if Aiden does go out there and try to make a statement to the people in the suits above, like, look, I'm that guy, bro, and I've been telling you, and Raiders Rebels been telling you, right, since my preseason rookie year, start Aiden O'Connell. It could be a problem. It could be a problem. So if you're wondering who you got to root for, you got to root for the San Francisco 49ers, the Cincinnati Bengals, the New Orleans Saints, and the Detroit Lions. And then the Giants, they play before us, right? So we could look at the Giants and the Dallas Cowgirls game. We could watch that before the Raiders play, so we know, if the Giants win, it's all go. It's all go. Let Aiden O'Connell be unleashed, no pun intended. Unleash Aiden O'Connell, and let's go get a dub against the Kansas City Chiefs at home, right? But that's only if the Giants win. If the Giants lose, well, that's a whole nother story. And yeah, I think it's funny that they're treating it like a preseason game. He said Aiden O'Connell's going to play, Kenny Pickett's going to start because he's been the backup all year. I don't think that's the greatest strategy. I think if it was me, like I said last night on my live, go check it out. I said I would start Aiden O'Connell, right? I would start Aiden O'Connell, and I would have Kenny Pickett come in the second half. That's just me because Kenny Pickett doesn't give us as high of a chance to win as Aiden O'Connell, in my opinion. So if I'm upper management, I'd be like, no, start Aiden O'Connell. Let's play him the first half, and then let it all fall on Kenny Pickett's shoulders. That's kind of the way I'm leaning. But they're gonna do it different, and it seems funny that Pete Carroll compete. All of a sudden wants to treat it like a preseason game in week 18. I cut sugar and stay pretty active. I need to do that too. Cutting sugar is another goal. I need to write that down. I'm gonna have a list. Man, I'm gonna be a different person if all these come to come to life. But usually, usually I don't have a New Year's Eve resolution or a New Year's resolution. But since I asked the question, I just came up with those that if y'all gonna participate, I'm gonna participate. So let's start a pack. The first one to quit. We should have started a poll, man. See that we should have started a money poll. Everybody put in $20, right? And everybody have their New Year's resolution, and then just go on integrity, and whoever's left standing gets the pot. I think that would have been a great incentive um, to have everybody help reach their goals. I think that would have been great. A Dusty Oreo. What do you do? What do you do? New players have to buy private insurance. The team don't provide it. NFL players have to what? What? That's cray cray. Teams do provide insurance. Even after you retire, they get insurance for another 5 years after they're retired. Family, everything is covered. So the NFL has great insurance, and they probably have their own on the side too. Also, maybe they only provide it after they're done playing. I don't know. Bedtime is whenever I get tired. Smoke too much kush. Okay. Is there such thing as that? Shout out for the $2 holla. Dusty Oreo in the building. Appreciate you. Appreciate you keeping the lights on. The first one to tip on the new year. I got this damn hair in my nose or something. And it is really upsetting me. Happy New Year's to you. I appreciate you. Bane is a game wrecker. I talked about this last night, and I had a lot of people upset. I don't think he's going to be a game wrecker in the NFL. I think he's going to be more of that Tyree Wilson type, right? But he's only 6'2". He's 270 something pounds. He runs a 4.79 40, and he has 30-inch arms. That's not an NFL star stat. Now, does he have the heart, the willpower, the mindset to overcome all of that? Possibly, right? He has good bend. It's not the greatest. He has a great first step for as slow as he is. Not the greatest. He's violent. He's physical. He has strong hands, but he's 270 pounds. You expect that, right? Short, stocky. Um, I just don't know at the next level, at the pro level, if he's going to be that same dude. I don't. Now he very well could be, right? Very well could be. But are you willing to take that chance? If you're a Raider, or if you're a Saint, or if you're a Giants, or if you're the Cardinals, which I think the Cardinals really need defense. If I'm the Cardinals, I'm probably getting rid of Kyler Murray, but I'm probably not going after a quarterback this year in the draft unless it's, second, third, fourth round, probably, possibly. But they have two first round picks. And if they get a defense, you know, Jacoby Brissett's been out there killing it. Yes, he has his interceptions, he has his moments, but they put up points. They put up way more points than the Raiders, rushing and passing this year. And I believe the Cardinals, with Gannon over there coaching them, I think the Arizona Cardinals have something going. They have some young receivers in Marks. They have the hell his daddy. I don't know what the hell his name is, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know why I just had a 50-year-old brain fart. Bro, retire his ass already. Who? Pete Carroll? I hope so. Oh my God, he caught that? Oh, incomplete. That dude got smacked. Appreciate you. Appreciate you for the 2026 gift. Thank you very much. El Capitan. What's good, my guy? Appreciate you in the building. Who you think the Raiders are drafting? Which way we going? Let me know. Let me know. Raider, much respect to you. As always, my brother. Marcus Banks in the building. Good to see you in here. Good to see you in here. Appreciate you, my guy. Let me know what's your New Year's resolution. It's the pinned comment. What's your New Year's resolution, or what's your New Year's resolution for the Las Vegas Raiders? What do you want the Raiders to do in the 2026 season besides just win, baby? All right, in the gun, trips to the bottom, saying he's going to stare down his receiver. He's going to check down to the to the running back and throw it 30 feet over his head, and didn't even give him a chance. But he seen the corner creeping up, and he probably didn't want another one of those pick sixes. I would know because the Raiders just got sloppy seconds from the Seahawks. Yes. And, nobody likes sloppy seconds, bro. Nobody likes sloppy seconds. Especially if they haven't showered and shit. It's just a bad situation. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to you, man. Happy New Year's to everybody in the building, to the 14 people in the building. Double tap the screen if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Think about becoming a member. Like, subscribe, and follow. Tickle the notification bell to turn it on. Great soldier made his way here. Yeah, he's here. I'm trying not to get to that. Navy vet, much respect. Yes, much respect to everybody in the building. Love it. Love it. Sorry, who's the one got sorry, who was the one that just got a touchdown? I didn't want to be the one to do it. Hello. What? Who just got the touchdown? It was um it was Miami, but Frederickson? I don't know. I forgot. All right, Miami's got the ball back. Ball on the 42. Little play action. Jack steps up in the pocket. Nice little hitch. Throws, and it is caught for a first down. And they are picking apart this Ohio defense. We need a good coach. Yes, yes. Coaching is key, man. And you need a coach that can relate to these players, right? That these young players. I don't think a 74-year-old coach, you know, is old enough to be most of these players' grandpa. We have the second, or we have the sixth or seventh or eighth youngest team. I think it's the eighth. Last year it was fourth, but we have the eighth or tenth somewhere in there in the top 10. We have the top 10 youngest team in the NFL. You can't bring in a 74-year-old coach to try to relate to these guys. I don't care if he teaches philosophy at USC, to a bunch of college kids. It's just I don't think these guys are picking up what he's putting down, and that's a huge problem. So go out there, get one of these young up and coming coaches with a vision, right? That's not afraid to adapt with the times, change as the times go. But yes, a head coach is definitely tops on the list. That would be a great New Year's resolution for the Raiders. Quick throw out to the side. He's going to pick up three. And they just trying to run this clock. What does he need to me? I have dogs barking and couldn't hear it. What? I don't know what you're talking about. The Eagles, man, there's a lot more people in here. I gotta read all these. Happy New Year to you. Appreciate you, one real OZ. OZ in the building. You send me one of those. Cheers, cheers. Crosby is gone, Mr. Yates. How you figure? You think he's really done? You think he's moving on? I said in my live yesterday, the only way Pete Carroll stays is if Crosby is on board with keeping him in the building. And I don't know if that's the case, right? I don't know. Shout out for the 2026. Appreciate you, my guy. I don't know if that's the case. So Crosby says he wants to be a Raider for life, and we'll see if he's a man of his word. But it's not even about him being a man of his word. It's the fact that the Raiders keep lying to him, and they told him we were going to hit the ground running, and we were going to be that team that was going to compete this year, and we're not competitive in anything. We're competitive in losses. We're competitive in the number one pick. We're competitive. That's about it. So, uh, yeah, man, Crosby. Crosby could be on the move. I said it. I said it, and I'm gonna keep saying it. They lied to him. He doesn't want to be here. If they're gonna rebuild, and last year they told him it wasn't a rebuild, they're gonna hit the ground running. Now all the talks are it's rebuild time. Pete Carroll doesn't believe it. He doesn't get the memo. I don't even think he understands what a rebuild is. But I know Max Crosby does. And if they go and fire Pete Carroll, look for Max Crosby to say, I'm done, trade me. Definitely. Um, we should hold each other accountable. Yes, yes, we should. I'm not bueno. Happy New Year to you, my guy. What's your New Year's resolution? Drop it in the chat. Dusty Oreo, what's your New Year's resolution? Drop it in the chat. I haven't heard yours. Caught first down to the 30. And Miami is on the march again with 2:16 left in the half. They are putting a whomping on Ohio State. And they have look at that formation. Oh, that was fancy. See, I want a guy like that. We need an offensive coordinator like that. Who is Miami's offensive coordinator? Let's look at guys like that. I don't care if we take college. We hear all the talks. We don't want a college guy. We want We need a guy with experience in the NFL. But when you're coming up with plays like that, like I know it was just a bunch, a trips bunch to the top, but the routes, right? The routes, they had everybody crossing, mix match, and you got defenders looking stupid, not knowing which way to go. Bro, you just lost to the Big Blue Giants. Let's go. Let's go, Big Blue. Carson, yeah, we lost. And I don't think anybody in Raider Nation is really upset about the loss. I mean, if we're going to be honest, right? Anybody in here upset that we lost that game? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. So you can have your win. You know damn well you wanted that first overall pick more than us, and you can come in here and try to gloat because you won. But I mean, if you want to take those kind of victories, you could take them. You could take them. I would have took them too. If we would have won. But it is what it is. I'm dead. Can't kill something that's already dead. You're not dead, bro. You still breathing. Stop. You still breathing, my guy. Niners won Seattle first game. Well, let's go 49ers. Let's go 49ers. That's excited in sign language. Get y'all in now. Um, Red Rum in the building. Raiders suck. Hot take. Hot take, bro. What could we do without your takes in here? I don't know. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. HNY. What does that mean? Was it supposed to be HEY? Hey? What's good, Cameron Johnson, KC from Kansas City, Missouri? What's your take on the game? Do the Raiders win? Do your Chiefs, pull the bitch move and try to lose out, which I don't see happening? I think they got more integrity to that. Giants gifted us the number one pick, right? Shout out to the Giants. Let's go. I told y'all we should have took Jackson Dart, man. Right? Wasn't who was screaming Jackson Dart off season, all season, all the season before. And my guy, he don't even have to be on the team, but he helped us out. So shout out to Jackson Dart. Either way, being a dog, and he's probably going to go do the same thing against the Dallas Cowboys, right? You heard his interview. He's playing for his future, man. He wants to win every game. He don't care about the first round pick. And when there's talks of the first round pick being Mendoza, a guy that's going to be your replacement, and you only been there for a year, yeah, you're going to go out there and play your ass off. So thank God we got to play the Giants, who was in that position. I think it really, really helped us. Question your thoughts on Malik Willis back up from the Packers as a bridge, or just stick with AOC as a mentor? Man, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. And Carson Beck under pressure, and he holds the ball way too long. Hitch up took too long. Tried to step up in the pocket. Horrible decision making. Um, I like Malik Willis. I really like Malik Willis. But Malik Willis with Aiden O'Connell in the building, I'm not proud of that. I'm not happy about that. I wouldn't be down with that. If you're gonna go that route, if you're gonna bring in a Malik Willis, I say you keep Cam Miller in the building. You bring in a Malik Willis, and you draft a quarterback. If it's not in the first round, that's fine. It could be in the third round, fourth round, fifth round. I would be happy as hell and ecstatic as the F word with Taylor Green from Arkansas. You can get Taylor Green in the sixth round, seventh round, depending on how many depending on how much the stock goes up in this draft. I think it's going to climb above a bunch of receivers in this draft. He's got a quarterback coach he's working with. I tried to hit him up on the phone, tell him I'd work with him, work on his game, but he wasn't having it. He wasn't having it. But he should, though. He should, man. I can help him out. But Taylor Green, I think with the right quarterback coach, with the right offseason, I think his stock is going to jump up. I really like Drew Alar. I think that's a guy I would take a chance on in the third or fourth round all day long. Carson Beck, look at him out here playing against Ohio State, one of the best teams in the country. He's out here doing this thing. I wouldn't be mad at a Carson Beck, in the later rounds, but he's probably going to go second or third, I think. I would imagine. Um, So I don't know, man. That's a hard question, right? If you go Malik Willis, then yeah, you take one of these quarterbacks, third, fourth, fifth round, sixth, seventh round. You let him compete with Cam Miller, and you see what you got. You go defense, 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 and then defense again. And then next year you go offense, 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 and offense again, right? That's how I think this draft should be. Not mixed match. I think we build one side of the ball this year, we build another side of the ball next year, and I think that's a recipe for success. So yes, I'm all in on Malik Willis. If they can get him for a decent price, but if you're trying to bring him in and pay him like you did Gino, hell to the no, no. Hell no. But if you could get old boy over here for 10 milli, 10, 12 milli, I'd take Malik Willis all day. But if you're gonna do that, you gotta get rid you gotta move on from Aiden O'Connell. You gotta trade Aiden O'Connell. Or cut him or do whatever. But I'm sure somebody'd be willing to give something. Oh my goodness. No flags? Good lord. All right, a minute and 44 left in the half, 14 to nothing. So yeah, and as far as AOC as a mentor, with his knowledge of football, the way he studies film, as long as he was in college football and the 3 years he's been in the NFL, the fact that he was hurt and all he got to do was study from the sidelines, study film, study defenses, right? I think Aiden O'Connell is dangerous, and I think he'd be a damn good mentor. Maybe he doesn't have the mobility he needs, and the only thing that scares me about him is in a 17 game season, does he make it through, right? Does he make it through? Because we've seen Aiden O'Connell injure his knee, trying to slide, not very athletic. We've seen him injure his thumb, taking a shot, standing in the pocket, right? Not his fault. We've seen him break his wrist on a helmet, taking another shot, standing in the pocket. So the fact that AOC has that heart and he's fearless and he'll stand in the pocket and take shots, I don't know if he'd make it a full 17 game season. So that's a huge, huge question right there. Um, but I would love to give it a shot, man. I would love to see what we got in Aiden O'Connell. I really would. Christian, who is the most improved player on the offense and defense for the Raiders this year? That's hard to say. That's another thing that's hard to say, Arnie Garza, because where are we at right now? Caleb Rogers has played 200 snaps. Charles Grant. All right, Ohio State has the ball at the 2 yard line. A great punt. Minute 36 left. They're going to hand out of it, and he's going to pick up 4, get him out to the 5 yard line. You know, um, Eric Stokes, bro. I'm gonna say Eric Stokes. Eric Stokes on the defense is the most improved, and the most sleepy. Sneaky improved. I'd have to go with. Man, I don't know on the offense. I don't know. I really don't. I don't see much improvement from anybody on the offense. I've seen everybody regress. So I guess Ashton Genty, I've seen a little bit of improvement in the last couple games in his vision, his patience, the stop and the jump cut as soon as he touches the ball. Um, so I'd go Ashton Genty and Eric Stokes. I think that's the most improvement I've seen. And, I'm kind of surprised Eric Stokes isn't in the talk for the Pro Bowl, right? The man was a shutdown corner over there on his side. All he did was shut down every top corner that we played. Now he gave up a couple touchdowns, but his QBR rating against and all those numbers are up there for a guy that's making under $5 million a year. I think Eric Stokes deserves a lot more credit. All right, in the gun, Julian Staying steps up in the pocket, dumps out. Oh, and his fullback will fight for the first down. Or who's that? Receiver. My bad, my bad. What up, Chiefs fan? Red Kingdom in here. What's good, Chiefs? What's good, Chiefs? Happy New Year, Daniel. What's good? What's good? I'm not against keeping Pete. Shit, worst that can happen is we get another top 3 pick. Um, I'm against keeping Pete. I'm against keeping Pete because look at Charles Grant. He's come in there, played a couple games. He looked like he should have been playing the whole year. Caleb Rogers, the same thing. If you look at Jack Besh, oh, pass first down, caught, a minute and 17 seconds left, and the clock will stop. If you look at Jack Besh, right, there's just too many reasons not to keep Pete Carroll. The way he stuck with Geno, he showed his favoritism. The way that he's, handcuffed Patrick Graham in this defense, the way that he meddled in the offense, the way that he fired the offensive coordinator and the special teams coordinator, and those positions have got worse also since he fired those guys. The way that he will not, you know, acknowledge the fact that you can't run the game with a bad offensive line and your son is the problem. There's too many negatives to keep Pete Carroll, and the only way I'd bring back Pete is if you told him you're firing both your sons, you're firing Geno, and but then you have to give him full reign, right? You have to give him full reign and control, and I think that's a mistake. Pete Carroll has showed absolutely nothing to me on how to keep this team. He's told us nothing but lies. And there is more, the worst that can happen is you can lose the locker room, you can lose the players, you can lose Max Crosby completely. Players could stop buying in. But the rookies have done an okay job, and he's, been reluctant to play him. He's been reluctant, and he's been, stuck on sticking with his guys, right? I know Devin White has 163 tackles, but in the passing game, he's absolutely horrible. Pete Carroll won't even try to put in somebody to see if they can do better because he believes that's that guy. And that's the biggest problem for the Raiders is Pete is just stuck in his ways, and those ways have passed the NFL has passed by. So there's a possibility he could stay. And it comes down to Max Crosby. If Max Crosby wants him here, that's the only way he's staying. Other than that, there's not. I mean, the good and the bad is like this. There's not enough things that he could say or try to do now to make it any different, in my opinion. And the fact that he still won't acknowledge, right? Pete Carroll will still not acknowledge the fact that he made the wrong decisions. He still says, no, we're going to build on this and we're going to build on this last game and we're going to hit the ground running next year. He's still stuck on thinking that this team doesn't need to change the offensive line, to change the linebackers, to get better in the secondary that he believed was just as good, or no, he said was better than the Seattle Legion of Boom. So, Pete Carroll might have been a great guy one time, but he destroyed the Raiders. I destroyed my Raiders gear last week. What the hell? Why would you do that, bro? It's not doing that. Breaking news. Starting Cam Miller. Zeus. What? Is that really breaking news? Is that really what's going on? I hope so. That's the greatest news I could hear. Love to see AOC in the first half and Cam Miller in the second. I would love that. Would love that. Kenny Pickett, we already know what he can do. He ain't shit. Cam Miller, Zeus, to make sure we lose. That would be great. That would be great. Thank you, Navy Vet Raiders for life. Max to the Packers, baby. If Max does get traded, look for him to get traded to a team that, that he knows people on, right? I think that would make sense. Put him with guys that he's played with before on the defense. Makes a lot of sense. You're a Bills fan now? Man, I feel bad for you, bro. You ain't helping yourself. Yeah, they're gonna get to the playoffs, but they're gonna lose every year. So, would you rather get Moore or Mendoza Raiders jersey? I would rather get whoever's Raiders jersey they draft. I'm not trying to get a Moore or a Mendoza jersey and them not draft either one. If I had my pick on quarterbacks, I'm taking Dante Moore, but he's sitting for a year or two. Oh, saying with the pass, Tate with the caught, short of the first down. It'll be second, ball on the 32. I don't believe Mendoza has any special qualities besides his mind. And I know everybody's heard me talk about on this channel that the mind is the greatest thing you could have as a quarterback. It trumps athleticism, it trumps a big arm, it trumps all of that. His competitive is great. But I just don't feel like he's worth the first overall pick that can change this franchise around, man. There's so many things we could do with that pick. But you got to have people willing to trade. And if the Jets are willing to trade, I'm all in. Have a happy New Year's, everyone. Grandpa Harold, appreciate you. Have a good one. Salute to you. Happy New Year. Hope all your resolutions come true. You don't do resolutions? Why not? Why not? You already know Grandpa Harold. We're just a fan base. We're a family here, right? Right? That's how we do. Family. Family. All right, 16 seconds left. Ball on the 30. Got 2x2 with a single backfield. Steps up in the pocket with a little hitch, and he's just going to throw it away. And it'll be 3rd and 2 with 10 seconds left. Not wearing Raider gear until we win another game. Ooh. Arnie Garza. Okay. Raider fan for life. Jeremy, what's good, man? Need a good coach. Yes, we need a good staff, not just a good coach. And let me know this. What y'all feeling? Do you feel like we need a coach? Do we need to let Spytech pick the coach and the coach pick his coaching staff? Or do we need to keep making the same mistakes we've made and keep certain guys on this staff and then tell the coach you build around these guys? Because I believe that's a problem. I like Patrick Graham, right? I just don't think it's working unless you take the handcuffs off him and say, this is your defense. You got full control of the draft. You bring in your guys. And he did that. He's done that the last 3 years, right? And the defense started to look nasty. We started to look like a top 10 defense. But then you let Pete Carroll come in and destroy everything Patrick Graham has built over the last 3 years. And I think that's enough for Patrick Graham to say, I'm out. I don't want nothing to do with this franchise. I tried, and y'all just, I had the recipe also. Y'all just didn't want to, y'all didn't want to get the ingredients and keep the ingredients, to bake this cake in the oven and make that shit taste good, right? So, no, it's a joke because my name is Grim Reaper. Raider Nation for life. Raiders family forever. Facts. I love it. Raider Nation will be upset if we won instead. Hard watching this Seattle Raider team not compete. It's hard watching the team at all. I mean, to be honest with you, it's just hard. It's hard turning on the TV. It's hard. If it wasn't for y'all, shit, I probably wouldn't even have a T. I probably would have broke that shit a long time ago. Oh, Ohio State does not get to score in the first half. Shutout in the first half. Ohio State for the shutout in the first half for the first time since the Fiesta Bowl in 2016. 9 years, bro. 9 years this team has not been shut out. Miami is for real. That coach might need to be looked at, right? Yeah. And pull up in a little bit because we're gonna break down the Pete Carroll press conference. He said a lot. He said an awful lot that made absolutely no sense. He backtracked on a lot, and it just makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. Jay Dart will get hurt. He keeps running. But he's a dog, though. He's a dog, man. He's just got to learn. He just got to learn to slide. Go out of bounds. Slide. Live to fight another day, right? The best warriors are the smart warriors that live to fight another day. And that's what Jay Dart needs to do. And if you can just get him to slide, right? Maybe you bring in a coach, John Gruden. Don't be surprised if the next head coach for the New York Giants is John Gruden. Telling you. You heard it here first. Telling you. The connection he has with Jackson Dart. If Jackson Dart has any say on that building, who he wants to bring in, it'll be John Gruden. And John Gruden will get him to slide, or he won't be in the game. He did it for Derek Carr. Start Mark Davis, quarterback Deuce Gruden, running back complete the tank. Let's go, Arnie Garza. Yes, yes. Start Mark Davis. Put that motherfucker bald head ass out there with a behind center. Let him get a couple licks. I'm just playing, Mark. I'm just playing. I like your haircut. It's okay. It's okay. Mendoza. God. Man, I've been thinking hard for the last 5 minutes of my New Year's resolution and can't think of one. Well, hey, if you're that good of a person, my guy, that you don't need a resolution, there's nothing you got to change, that you want to do better, then shit, you're there, man. Shout out to you. You can't ask for better than that. Maybe my resolution will be just to slow down and enjoy life a little bit more. I mean, that's a solid one right there too. Slow down, smell the roses, right? Breathe in the air around you. Um, if you got children, spend all the time you can with them, man, because it goes by fast, bro. Fast. Fast. One day you come home from work and they're like, Daddy, 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 Daddy. And the next day, they don't even call you. They don't buy you Christmas presents. They don't buy you birthday presents. They forget you exist, and unless you call them. So, yeah, man. Slow down, take time, breathe in, enjoy every single minute. Question your thoughts on Diego Pavia, however you say boy's name. I think he's all right. I think he's all right. I think the size, 6 foot. You're not gonna make it in the NFL. It's just it's hard going. The days of having guys like that was a little shorty name. The days of having those those guys in the NFL, which just not because of them, right? It's because the NFL won't give them chances anymore. But the days of having those, guys that can constantly roll out of pocket, makes plays with their legs, pick up first downs, right, throw the ball down the field, it of them getting a chance are slim to none nowadays. So I think Pavea kind of ruined a lot of his NFL shit by being stupid and running his mouth after the Heisman Trophy winner. He's also done some other stupid things since then. I think that's gonna hurt his draft stock. But if the kid can, put his head down, um, somebody will take a chance, possibly. Lincoln 412. The Raiders suck. Man, that's right. That's a great New Year's resolution. Healthy and realistic, right? Always set goals you could hit. Because if you don't set goals you can hit, then you're just gonna get discouraged in yourself. Don't you dare try and cut Aiden. Man, this is about the shield, bro. This right here. Not players, not players. It's about improving, getting better, and doing everything you can to make sure this team gets back to where it once was. Do a backflip? All right, hold up. Wait, you go super chat? You go super chat? Don't think I can't do a backflip. Think for a second, I can't. Why are you sending Aiden to the Bears, Candy? You can have him there. You send Aiden to the Bears. There you go. He'd be a great backup. Great backup over there. She loves her some Aiden O'Connell. Well, at least the only thing she knows about football is the good thing, right? It's a good thing. AOC got hurt walking his dog. Come on, man. Let's be honest though. AOC, besides the one time he tried to slide and that knee said into the turf, you know, other than that, the other injuries were all warrior type injuries. When you stand in the pocket and you got a 324, 320, 340 pound defensive lineman barreling down your face and you look right at him and wait, and then throw the ball, and you're getting hit, man, that's a dog. And he should get more credit for that. He should. Oh, what else we got? There's only one nation. That is facts. That is facts. Quick question. If you can go back to the early 30s, and give yourself advice. Fucking fuck you, bro. Man, for one, I wasn't even a twinkle in my daddy's eye, and my daddy wasn't even a twinkle in his daddy's eye, and my mom wasn't even a twinkle in anybody's eye in the 30s, bro. So, um, I don't know what I would say, but it would has to be my other self if I was alive in the 30s. But that's a rude ass question, bro. Assuming that I was alive in the 30s and I could go back and tell myself some shit, I would tell myself I made it. Cause damn, if I was born in the 30s, what would I be? I'd be pretty old, right? Be very old. Damn, I'd be 100 or something. Rude ass questions, bro. Rude ass questions. Maybe sitting Grant and Rogers was the right choice though. They played terrible in the preseason. Maybe Pete's son isn't as bad as we think, and we should let the coaches develop as our players. See, that's the problem, though. I mean, I agree with that, Bueno, but this is the problem. Everybody regressed. DJ Glaze got worse. Dylan Parham's got worse. Even JPJ when he was out there got worse at those positions. And Pete Carroll's out here in his press conferences acting like oh, we're getting better, we're right there. We're I think we're gassed up and ready to go for next season. This dude's delusional. He hasn't made anybody better on this team. And if you look at preseason, and if you want to compare the 49ers game or the Seattle game, and you look at Caleb Rogers' film, it's not much different than it is now. Now, yes, the speed of the game might have slowed down for him, but his footwork, his technique, his aggressiveness, none of that has changed either for Charles Grant either. So, yes, they're going to get better being in the NFL system and being on the sidelines and practicing against the number one defense. That's going to make them better. But I don't think Brendan Carroll had anything to do with that. If you look at anybody on this offensive line, they are worse than they were last year. So, you know, taking chance to give somebody that wasn't qualified for the position, it's just a bad look for the Raiders. And you know, Pete Carroll and the decisions he's made, I feel like he's already set us back another 2 or 3 years, right? You got rid of um, you got rid of everything that Patrick Graham built on the defense over the last 3 years. Now you're rebuilding a whole complete defense because we don't have key pieces on the defense at all. We have like maybe three or four. So I don't believe that. And the run game coordinator, Brandon Carroll's the run game coordinator. The run game coordinator should make sure your offensive line blocks during the run game. They failed to do that. It wasn't until Greg Olson took over that Ashton Genty actually started to look like a running back, and this offensive line started to look like like an offensive line. And I believe that's all Greg Olson. So I don't think them playing better the last couple of weeks has been Pete Carroll or Brendan Carroll or Nate Carroll. I think it's been a product of Greg Olson. And if it wasn't for Olson taking over, I really don't think that anything would look better right now. Vikings are bad too. JJ McCarthy is not him. He's, you know, in the last 3 games, he's got 9 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, and they've won 2 of those games. So McCarthy's 20 years old, man, 21, just turned 21, and he's in the NFL. That kid's got a long way to go, a long way to go before anybody can say whether he's it or not. But he's looked better, and under Kevin O'Connell's system, I think JJ McCarthy's gonna be all right. I think he'll be all right. I'm lost as fuck. don't be lost. Find yourself, Minnow. I was sick of that bot. You're good, man. You're good. Jim Plunkett. Yes, that was my favorite growing up. I'm not sure Rebel seen my paragraph. I asked him about it. What paragraph? If it was a paragraph, I skipped over it. I don't read that far. Crosby to the Bears. No, no, no. But yeah, like I really feel like again that if we had an offensive line a coach and a run game coordinator, Genty would have probably had 1,500 yards rushing like he assumed this year with this offensive line. The fact that they switched everybody around, blew it up, and Pete Carroll is in week 18 saying, we're still trying to find our offensive line. That's a fail. That's a fail. The fact that Darian Porter comes out and looks great after sitting behind Kai Blue Kelly for 14 weeks, another fail. The fact that Dekamarion Richardson, the last 5 games of the season, looked like he was turning out to be a nice little NFL corner. Then Pete Carroll comes in and the dude's playing special teams. So I think a lot of this season, the record is Pete Carroll, his sons, and Geno Smith. And if we bring them back and draft a quarterback in the first round, this franchise is doomed for another 10 years, man. I guarantee you. Keep one of those throws out. What's good? What's good? What's good? Shout out for the 2026. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. It's tough being a Raiders fan these days, homie. Man, times are hard. Times are hard. But the real ones fight through that shit, right? You got to fight through the bad. You got to fight through the good. You got to fight through all the, all the hate, all the negative talk, because there's been nothing but negativity this year, and there's not much to really talk about positive, except for the fact that Pete Carroll might not be around next year, and that's a huge positive. My first touchdown on this channel, laughing my ass off. What? T.O.? Oh, you got timed out? You got timed out? Nice. Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots. If we have Quinn Ewers, we might win. Is that who they play? Miami and New England this Sunday? I like Quinn Ewers. I didn't think he was going to come out and play in his first game like he did. But the kid showed something, right? He showed something. And Miami might have something there. Pete needs to go too. His time is done. I mean, it's been an epic fail, bro. It's been an epic fail. Antonio Pierce did a way better job coaching, a way better game management, a way better job with the defense and the players that were hurt and the next man up mentality. And I like Spytek, but it's starting to look like maybe we let Tom Telesco go too early. I mean, if you look at his drafts, the way they're the guys that get on the grass, right? And I believe if Dekamarion Richardson was out there, he'd be another one of those guys, Tom Telesco guys, that would be killing it right now. That was a triple. GG, what's a GG? Bucks overrated. Alex M, what's good? It's looking like it. Dolphins and Patriots. Keep in mind we're going to the playoffs. Peace out, Jason. Have a good night, man. Have a good 2026. Question. If you go back to the early 30s and give yourself... You already said that, bro. Why am I reading the same shit? Pete and Gino, you're fired. So let me ask you this, Alex M. With Pete talking like he's not fired and talking like the future is bright, right? He talks to Mark Davis every day, so he says. He talks to Tom Brady every day. They both seem to be on board with what's going on, which I don't know how you could be on board with with your team looking like total ass cheeks out there, right? Just not sure how that could be a possibility. Shit, don't get that up there too much. Let me ask you this. Would you fire Pete Carroll right after the game in the press conference on Monday? Or would you be an up and up owner or GM and just tell Pete Carroll straight out, look, we're going to make some interviews. We're going to make some phone calls. We're going to do some interviews. We don't think that this is the way the team wants to go or needs to go. And if we could find your replacement, you're being replaced. That's the way it goes. If you want to quit now, If you want to back out, try to sue us and get your money, whatever it is. But we're going in a different direction. That's just the best way to go. But can you really say we're going in a different direction if you don't have a head coach and plan? Now, if you had to have a game plan going in, saying, "Look, we're going to go out, we're going to fire Pete Carroll right after this game. We're going to fire Pete Carroll, his sons. We're going to release that, announce that we're releasing Gino, and we're moving in a different direction. And then we're going to go out and try to get a head coach. And if we can't get that head coach, well, if Patrick Graham doesn't go somewhere else, he's our next option. So if you could have a meeting with Patrick Graham and say, look, man, we want you to have this job, but we gotta do interviews, right? And if we find somebody better, we're gonna take it. And maybe he'll say yay, maybe he'll say no. But it sucks that the way Josh McDaniels' staff is going right now in New England, and I know it wasn't all Josh McDaniels that put the staff together. It was, it was the big dog, right? However, Josh McDaniels had a lot to do with that staff and putting that staff together with Vrabel. And he brought a lot of guys over here to put the staff together in Vegas that a lot of them have stayed, right? Luke Steckel, the tight end coach, still here. The defensive coordinator, Robbie Leonard, still here. Patrick Graham, still here. Until he just got fired. Tom McMahon was still here. All the top position coaches that Josh McDaniels brought in are still in the building, man. 3 coaches later, 2 coaches later. That says a lot about Josh McDaniel and, what Mark Davis thought of him. He likes the guys he brought in. He wanted to keep a lot of these guys, and they've kept them through 2 different regimes. And I feel like if you're going to get rid of Pete Carroll, you got to have a backup plan because not everybody's going to want to take this job. No matter if you have Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty, if you tell them, look, we have the number 1 overall pick, but we're not taking a quarterback, there's not too many people that might want to take this job. And you got to have a contingency plan. And if you don't, damn, it's going to be a bad couple years again for the Las Vegas Raiders. But I believe Pete Carroll is, Max is the only way. Max is the only way. And they, at this point, if Max says keep Pete Carroll or I want to be traded, they might just say, then make your phone calls, bro. I feel that's where they're at. Hey, he wants to be gay. Let him be gay, rebel. Don't mind getting complimented. I didn't read any gay compliments, but it is what it is, man. Remember, I only kick people if they're spamming disrespectfully. As long as people are not reading comments, we'll keep the content created. Appreciate you. Kenny might have to stretch first. Wait, what? Hello, I ain't doing no backflip. Promise you that. You don't know if I could do a backflip or not, bro. What you mean? Super chat and find out, I guess. Broncos country, nah, bro. This, yeah. Come on, man. This is Raider country. Ain't no Bronco country over here. But y'all got a good shot. Bronco what? Bronco what? Yeah. Bronco what? Come here, bro. Boom. Should you ever put that shit in my phone? There is no nation. There is only one nation. And if anything will get you kicked in my chat, it is saying any other team with nation after it. Other than that, it's a free-for-all. Jesus loves you. Be safe and Happy New Year. Peace. Shout out. Thanks. Appreciate it. Not in the 30s. He said if you could go, back to my 30s. I thought he said in the 30s. If I can go back to my 30s, I would tell myself, I would tell myself getting life insurance, save 20% of my income, and probably wouldn't be broke in the situation I'm in right now. There's a lot of things I would tell my 30-year-old self, bro. A lot. Aiden is Officer Farva. He could be officer whoever he wants to, as long as he don't come in and win this damn game. I don't care who he wants to be. Do you want our quarterback Tua? You can have him. Well, that's the biggest New Year joke, New Year's Eve joke of the night. I didn't even know that they had jokes like that, bro. Like, ah, this motherfucker coming here straight with the stand up comedy, the stand up comedy. Nobody wants Tua, bro. You could take him and his 3 concussions, and do whatever you want to do in Miami. But if he steps foot in Vegas, do you know a good tattoo removal parlor, a laser surgery? Because that's where I'm at with that. Tua is worse than Geno. And I didn't think I would ever say anybody was worse than Geno. But Tuna might be. Tuna might be. Math better? I don't know how to do math, bro. I don't know how to do math. He was saying, I misread it. I got it. I got it the other 3 times you told me. I get it. I appreciate it. 35 in May. Oh, you still a young blood. Still a young blood. Eagles all day. Eric, yes. No. You still want Pete? No. No, I was wrong. I do not want Pete. I never wanted Pete. I mean, I did want Pete. I thought it would be a decent fit if quarterback, could be that if guy. But we didn't pile him with any of the ifs he needed. So nah. You read that wrong. I know I read everything wrong. They will get better. God, I hope so. 48 in March. March what, Navy vet? Are you a Pisces? Mine is on the 6th. March 6th. I think we talked about this before, but I don't have a great memory when it comes to that shit. The only thing I can remember is football stats and players, and I'm not even good at that anymore. Coach Brennan is horrible offensive line coach. He's not qualified. He's not qualified. I broke down at the beginning of the season, right? When all these guys were hired, we did an extensive search on everybody. And Brendan Carroll, like I don't even have to pull it up. He was a tight ends coach. His father in Seattle decided, nah, bro, you ain't a good tight ends coach. He fired him. So he went to college football. Had to be a tight ends coach there. It didn't work. He came back to Seattle. They made him the tight ends coach and something else, receivers coach. That didn't work. They let him go. He went to college. then he came. That didn't work. 1 year. Then he came back. He was at Arizona, I do believe. He went there. He ruined that franchise in college football. He made their offensive line worse and their running game worse. Then he comes back to Daddy, has 3 different jobs there. Then he finally gets fired again, goes out on his own to Washington, and he just makes offensive running game worse. He became the offensive coordinator there. All their stats and numbers went down. And then Pete Carroll gets a job, and he was going to get fired, and he comes here again. So Brendan Carroll has not done anything by himself without his father, and Nate Carroll hasn't either. Nate Carroll has been under his daddy's wing his whole time in Seattle, and it's funny that Nathan Carroll never got fired from Seattle, got demoted, promoted, bounced around in all these positions. But Brendan Carroll did. Brendan Carroll got released a couple times and had to go find his own job. And then Daddy felt sorry and brought him back because he couldn't find another one. So the 16th, nice. Another Pisces in the building. I feel bad for y'all. I feel bad for us too, man. Rebel, you're a Pisces. Pisces as well. Happy birthday. Oh, his birthday. I can't read, bro. Was born on Memorial Day? That's pretty cool. Y'all got Geno and Genty. And Kenny Pickett. It sounds funny when you put it like that. I don't know why, but it sounds funny. It sounds funny as hell. Cooked franchise by taking Genty. Damn, big run up the middle. I disagree. Now I've talked a lot of shit on Ashton Genty. I was big on the 6th overall. He was the best player available. I thought they could have went Mimbu. I think it would have been a great idea if they would have, went and got Membu at the time. But I like the picks. I like the picks in the third round. I think Charles Grant and Caleb Rogers are going to be them ones for a long, long time in this Raiders organization. And I don't think Genty was a bust. I think the NFL took him by surprise. I think he was a little bit bigger headed than he thought. He thought he was going to come in and be able to run over NFL linebackers and safeties. He thought he was going to be that dude that was going to have 1,500 yards and another 300 yards or 400 yards receiving, like he said. That was big expectations put on himself. I believe his lower his low center of gravity is absolutely elite. I believe his hands out of the backfield are elite. I believe even his pass protection is becoming elite. Like a lot of people question, could he be that third down back all three downs because of his pass pro? He showed he can do that even with his size. The only problem I have with Ashton Genty is his decision making, his decisiveness. When there's a big hole open, he seems to want to cut it back. Oh my God. What a catch, bro. Smith is ridiculous. But other than that, Ashton Genty has a whole bunch of elite traits. Now, his breakaway speed might not be elite, but it's great. It's up there, right? If you give him a step or two on somebody, most players in the NFL, 98% of them, 99% aren't catching Ashton Genty once he gets a step or two on you. So I don't believe it was a bad pick. I just believe that, they're trying to do like Chicago did with their quarterback, draft their quarterback and then build your O line and the rest of the offense around him. But I just feel like they have too much building to do, right? We have 23 free agents. I would probably keep 4 or 5 of them. We have 32 players on the roster that have, contracts are up next year or within the next couple years. And I would probably keep maybe 25 or 26 of those. So they have some work to do. But as far as Genty being cooked, the franchise being cooked for taking Genty, I don't believe so. I believe the dude has elite skills. He's already has more yards from scrimmage than Jahmyr Gibbs. He already has more yards from scrimmage than Bijan Robinson. Look how long it's taken Bijan Robinson to be the dude that they thought he was going to be drafted 7th overall. Genty was taken 6th overall. And you could say, the Atlanta Falcons might have been set up, a little bit better than the Raiders to take a Bijan Robinson. But if you look at their stats, if you look at their touchdowns, Genty has more touchdowns than Bijan Robinson his rookie year. He has more touchdowns than Jahmyr Gibbs his rookie year. He's also right behind Barry Sanders in his rookie year and not far off touchdown-wise of some people, want to say is the greatest now, Saquon Barkley. So Genty, for running behind this shitty offensive line, not even shitty offensive line, for a bad coached offensive line with Brendan Carroll, with a bad coached running game, a bad running scheme, right? He's more dangerous in space on the outside, and they constantly run him up the middle. So for what he's done as a rookie, no matter where he was drafted, with the circumstances that he's had, 2 offensive coordinators, a head coach stuck with Brendan Carroll as offensive line, I think Genty's going to be special, and I think this year was a year he needed because he came in a little cocky, thinking, "Man, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that," and it knocked him down a peg or two. And I think, wait till next year, wait till next year, this kid is going to explode on the NFL. All right, first and goal from the 5. That was an ugly handoff. Down to the 2. Kenny, did you get the stuff to bake cookies? Baking cookies? I want some cookies. Scroll up, you'll see what he's reading. He's just behind the chat. I'm way behind. I'm always way behind the chat. I'm trying to get there. I'll skip a bunch of y'all. Shout out for the $1.99. Macaroo. Appreciate you. Do a backflip. You're going to have to pay me more than $99 to do a backflip. Come on. Come on, man. Y'all motherfuckers getting $100 super chats to take a shot. You're going to have to pay me more than $100 to do a backflip. I'm just saying, bro. But I appreciate the gift. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for the support, Raiders Unleashed. Oh, always, man. This is a family here. We try to build a community of family. Raiders fans, Chiefs fans, Broncos fans, Eagles fans, it don't matter. We just a football family. Salute. Unleashed. Happy New Year's to you. Happy New Year's to you, Navy vet. Appreciate you, my guy. Let's do a little Happy New Year. What the hell? Why does it take so long to go on? A little Happy New Year. Dabba dabba doo. The Raiders. Yes, yes. Happy New Year to the nation. Happy New Year to everybody in the chat, to the 16 people in this building. I appreciate you rocking with your guy this long. We're talking a little college football. Ohio State has finally scored. It is 14-6 with 8:05 left in it. But, I'm a Raiders fan. We talk Raider football. And when you get Raider questions, my mind's going to wander. So if you got any questions about the Ohio State game, just let me know. My play-by-play is not very good when it comes to Raiders shit. How about them Raiders? I mean, we got the number one pick, right? We are destined for greatness very, very soon if we can just make the right decisions. But that's the problem. Make the right decisions. Candy's New Year's resolution is to do a backflip. She can stand on her head. I've seen her do that. Drive safe. Always. New Year's resolution is simple. Let me own the Raiders. Now that's reaching for the sky, my dog. You reaching for the sky right there. He's like, shit, just let me run the Raiders. I got you, man. But let me ask you this. If you're owning the Raiders, Ernest, right? Ernest? What the hell's your name? Yeah, it's Ernest. I had to make sure. So, Ernest, if you're still in here, and if you own the Raiders, what's the first thing you're doing? What's the first thing you're doing? How you change this team around? Ernest is now Mark Davis without the bowl cut, and you were on the clock. Go. Go. Navy vet sniping people. Go Vikings. Max Crosby's done. Pick it started. We should lose to the Chiefs then. But AOC is going to play, Alex. AOC is going to come in and save the day. Rebel, my birthday's March 2nd. My son's is March 16th. Nice. Bro, that's cool as hell. Your son's birthday. I was just doing that. Your son's birthday. Fire, fire. Is just a couple days after yours, man. That's sick. Ooh. Raiders suck. Ooh. Why does everybody want to come here and say Raiders suck, man? That's not their birthdays are close, right? That's sick as hell. That's sick as hell. Oh my goodness. These allergies. I swear they would get to you. Allergies are rough, bro. Fucking allergies. Well, howdy there, partner. How you doing today? It's all about Justin Sherbert and the San Diego Dischargers. Justin Sherbert melts like discharge ice cream on a hot summer day. Nah, I gotta take that back. He's been playing his ass off with the injured hand. I can't call him. I can't call him Justin Sherbert no more. He will now be Justin Herbert until he folds in the playoffs again. But shout out for the man going out there playing with his hand injury the way he has, getting hit helmet on the hand. Had a Landon Roberts, go right for the hand when they played the Raiders. That was kind of a dirty move by Landon Roberts. I didn't really, respect that, him doing that. Their defense is good. There's a lot of talk of, Jesse Mentor being tops on the Raiders list. I think that's a fraud. I think whoever's saying that has some false information because I've heard different. I've heard different. I don't think Mentor is the top guy on the list. I got three names that are higher than that, and we'll see at the end of the season. At the end of the season where that goes, but I don't know if Mentor is as high up as people say. Go Saints. They messed up. Rebel. Who messed up? Saints suck. Raiders should have not abandoned Oakland. The Raiders didn't abandon Oakland. Oakland abandoned the Raiders. They didn't want to build a new stadium. They wanted us to play in that trash ass, ran down, you know, as much as I love it, Oakland Coliseum on dirt, you know, with the shit ass bathrooms that smell like throw up and piss, and who else knows what else? Like, bro, it was time. The Raiders were the Raiders needed a new stadium when they moved to LA. They needed a new stadium when they moved back to Oakland. And they just were never willing. So and the fact that the Rams, you know, teamed up with the Lightning Bugs, the Dischargers, and they moved into SoFi together, the Raiders were pretty much, you know, out on a limb. They didn't really have a choice. So it's not the fact that Mark Davis ran out and abandoned Oakland. It's the fact that the city of Oakland and the mayors and the top dogs in charge pretty much said "F you" to the Raiders. Haha, I don't think you would actually take it one, but let's take it there. I just did. I just did. Saints in the Super Bowl next year? Okay, that's crazy talk, bro. That's crazy talk. How about y'all do us Mad Max for a second year supply of what? The hell is even Old Bay? I don't even know what Old Bay is, my guy. What the fuck is the Old Bay? Raider Nation for life. Sky in the building. Yo, if you're a diehard Raider fan, if you bleed silver and black like myself, thinking about subscribing to the channel, tickle the notification bell to turn on notifications when we go live. I don't know why the dog is tripping, but she says like, subscribe, and follow. Double tap the screen. Are you from Oakland or LA or Cali? I was born in Norwalk, California, Norwalk Hospital. If y'all from Cali, you know where that is. That's where I'm from. That's where I'm from. So I'm not from Oakland. I'm a Cali boy. I moved to Vegas in what, third grade. Spent a lot of time there. Spent a lot of time in Arkansas where I'm at now. Father lived here, mother lived there. And I was a pass around child. The Rebel got in trouble. Rebel got sent to Arkansas. Rebel got kicked out of school for fighting. He got sent back to Vegas. Rebel did some shit he shouldn't have did. Got sent back to Arkansas. So, yeah, that's where I'm from. I'm from all over. I bounced around like a rubber ball. I could do a handstand as well. Shit. Who can't do a handstand? It's all about Diego, California. Man, it's not right. You want to smoke Navy Vet? I'll smoke with you again. We can blaze again. Let me get through all these damn chats, though. I give the Chargers, Rams, Vegas Stadium, LA Stadium, California. Cheers! All right, let me just roll. Oh, we at the bottom. Sweet! I can read these last couple ones. Max Crosby would have been a better fit for Pittsburgh. He wouldn't have been benched for playing great. Well, for one, Pittsburgh is always in the playoff talks, and they're always in the hunt. So you wouldn't bench a player because they've never been in the talks of any top 10 pick since I can remember in my lifetime. You know, whether it was Bill Coward, whether it was Mike Tomlin, right? They're always in the hunt. So for one, they're not going to bench anybody. That's just a null and void statement, right? If you could take that back, you probably would. And Max Crosby's not playing in Pittsburgh, bro. Look, if Max Crosby goes anywhere, we all know this. We all know this. He's a Dallas kid, Texas boy, born in Texas, right? Played in Texas high school. If Dallas calls and says, Max, come to Dallas, we'll give the Raiders 2 first picks and, you know, a little something extra on the sneaky side link, that's probably where he'll end up, Dallas. He also went to school in Michigan. He also paid for a whole new stadium for Michigan State, right? So I mean, Detroit Lions, Dallas Cowboys. Detroit Lions, Dallas Cowboys. More than likely, that's where Max ends up if he goes anywhere. Oh my God, ball comes out, fumble, picks it back up, and still short of the first down. In case anybody's wondering. Fourth down, 3.5 minutes left. It's 14-7. Miami has been dominating this game on defense. Okay, if Kenny's, I'm here, I'm staying. Well, stay. Stay. It's smart target, like something that MMA would get a cut. No, that's a target. When you get what? It's smart to target something like that in MMA. When you get a cut, that's the. Oh, I get you. Yeah, right. Like a shark when you smell blood in the water. The kick is up, and it is good. 17-7. Miami on a roll. Troll him, David Hoffman. What you talking about me, bro? Don't troll me. You don't want to troll me, bro. You don't want that smoke. You don't want that smoke. Born and raised in Cali in Georgia right now. Shout out Navy vet. That sounds right. What sounds right? Different kind of sports fan. Yeah, MMA. There ain't no MMA talk though until the season, right? Until um, when are they fighting? New Year's Eve or New Year's Day? When are they fighting? Are they fighting this weekend? Who is the greatest Raider ever? Ever? You mean my opinion? Or are the consensus? The consensus opinion. um, Man, I don't know. Don't do that to me. Don't put me on the spot like that. I'm a Raiders fan. Like this shield right here, this one right here. That's who I'm a fan of. So I love the players as long as they're here, and they don't get did dirty when they get somewhere else. So I have a lot of great players, man. A lot. I got 50 years of players I've fell in love with, been heartbroken when they left. Um, so I try not to fall in love with the players too much. But if you're going, greats of what they've done, I mean, you got to look at Howie Long, right? His whole entire career as a Raider, a guy that gave blood, sweat, and tears for this franchise, one of the best defensive linemen, in the history of the NFL. You have to look at guys like Jim Otto, never missed a snap in the NFL, played 24 years or some shit. Excuse me, at center. A dude that broke his orbital bone and still played the whole entire NFL season when he should have had surgery, with one eye, couldn't even see, still played center. Those are the foundation pieces of the Raiders that should be talked about a lot, a lot more than they are. Um, Guys like Ted Hendrickson, the Mad Stork, right? Another guy that was just dominant for I don't know how many years for the Las Vegas Raiders. Guys like Marcus Allen, that could have and should have possibly been the greatest running back to ever live. Shout out Chewies, what's good? I mean, there's a lot. People say, Kenny the Snake was one of the first mobile quarterbacks that ever invented, rolling out of the pocket, running with the ball. Um, Freddie Bolitnikov, one of the greatest receivers, to ever catch a football, step on the grass. Charles Woodson, you know, what he did in his career, his rookie year, drafted out of Michigan, playing for the Raiders, and then, getting did dirty by Al Davis, going to the Green Bay Packers, winning a Super Bowl, coming back and still dominating. Um, I mean, I mean, even smaller guys like Jerry Porter, James Jett. Uh, I mean, all kinds of guys, bro. All kinds of guys. Ronald Curry, one of my favorites. Napoleon Kaufman. I mean,
I can't pick one great Raider. Like, I don't know who's the greatest. I don't know. I don't know. Some people would say Max Crosby right now, but to me, they are all Raiders and they are all equal. They are all equal. If you played for this team, if you bled for this team, Lester Hayes, oh my God, how could I forget him? You know, Atkinson, who just died, God rest his soul. I mean, God, you can go on and on and on and on. Guys that didn't get much credit, like Stuart Swaggart, you know, a safety that was probably a lot of people didn't even know, how he made it to the NFL, but was a dog, right? Um, so many guys, man, so many guys, so many guys. One of my favorites, Crabtree, Michael Crabtree, Marshawn Lynch, right? Gotta love you some Lynch Mob. If you don't love the Lynch Mob, then you ain't a Raider. Out there with your dreads rocking back in Oakland, every song, right? Getting down. Yeah, we need some energy like back in the building. Definitely. Lawrence, my brother, what's going on, big dog? How's that ticket going? How's that ticket going? Rebel have a jersey of Raiders of the century. Nice. Hell yeah. Raiders front office is frustrating me. Why do you say that, Brody? Brody James in the building? Shout out to Brody James. It's a nice name. I like that name. Lawrence in the building. Try to tell you about Miami. I was just, man, your ears must have been ringing. I was just talking about you a minute ago. I was like, yeah, my guy Lawrence ain't been in here. He must be focused on that Ohio State Miami game. He got that big money on there. They looking good, bro. Miami's looking tight. That defense, they doing that damn thing. They doing the damn thing. And then old Carson Beck doing his shit too. Running game is solid. All right, Ohio State ball at the 25. We talking too much football. I'm supposed to be commentating. This ain't even supposed to be a Raiders show. We going back into history and shit on New Year's Eve. I'll be live again later. Let's talk more about this shit later. We'll be doing the Raiders show later. Let's talk more about this damn football game. Love me some Lynch Mob. Hope you have a great New Year's. Appreciate you too. Same, same. Rebel, I'll send you a picture of the jersey on the other platforms. Hell yeah, let me know. I definitely want to see it. There's not enough in message to explain. There's not enough in message. You can part it out, bro. You can part it out. Pour your heart out, my guy. Um, follow me on X. You can message me on there. My messages are up. Private messages. All my links are in the shit. You can go to IG. You can message me on there. DM me. Let me know, man. Let me know. Let me know. I'm interested to hear. We a family here, right? You gotta get your frustrations out sometime, and not everybody wants to hear people rambling about how bad their Raiders suck and how bad the front office is. but I do. I'm with you. Almost 2 hours in the building. I'm trying so hard not to go smoke this damn cigarette. I really don't want to, but I'm running out of time before I gotta stop. Before I gotta stop. It's all systems go. Nice, nice. Don't forget about us peasants over here when you hit it big. don't forget about us. Forget about us over here. Oh man, plays one of these, I guess. Final score. What y'all think? What y'all think? You think Ohio State and the freshman has a chance to come back Now I've told y'all my shit, right? I told y'all why I say over and over again that before you get drafted in the NFL, you gotta have enough snaps to be able to be in these situations and know how to get through these situations, right? If you haven't done it before, it's kind of hard to get through a situation you've never been in for the first time on a stage of the national television with millions of people watching. You ain't listening very good. You don't listen very good. Miami today, Ole Miss tomorrow. Let's go, Ole Miss. You know I'm a rebel, so I gotta root for Ole Miss, and I really like Chambliss, man. I really like that Chambliss kid. Now he's not the average quarterback size, right? 6'1", 200 and what, 20 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever. But the kid is special. Favorite hot pocket flavor? Ooh, I've never had a hot pocket in my life. Don't eat that processed food, bro. That's bad for you. And maybe that should be your New Year's resolution. Don't eat processed food. That's just bad, bro. It's just bad. What's crap? That I never ate a hot pocket? Bro, I'll put that on everything, bro. I never ate no hot pocket. Anything you got to put in a microwave does not go in this body. Right? Look at this. Look at you don't get like this at 50, putting stuff like that in your body. I can breathe now. I'm sitting down. All right, handoff up the middle, out to the 50. I am the worst commentator ever. You didn't even know there was a football game going on over here. Y'all got me so sidetracked. I want Arch. I'm willing to wait till he comes out. Thank you for saying that. Shout out to everybody in the building. Double tap the screen. Appreciate you rocking with your guy. 14 in here. The people that have been in here. The people that just left. Have a happy New Year. It's New Year's Eve. Let's chief. Who's with me? Who's with me? Who's with me? Julian's saying, bro. I'm just saying. The young man. 78% of his passes. He was killing it. But I said this, and some people got upset with me in the college community because I made a statement and said, I do not believe Ohio State played enough top 10 teams. I think the lesser teams they played were lesser than a lot of lesser teams, if that makes any sense. And it showed in these playoffs, man. It showed in the playoffs, right? They lost to Indiana. Oh, but they still have Smith, and there's still time in this game. Yeah, I'm not going that far yet. But against good teams, they have struggled, man. Ohio State. God, look at... Oh, that's offensive pass interference. Come on. That's offensive pass interference. That's a hell of a throw. Back shoulder throw by Julian Sayin is why he was in the Heisman Trophy talks. The kid's got all the potential, and he's still got a long time to go, man. I like Julian Sayin. But I'm with Lawrence on the Arch Manning. We were talking about Arch Manning earlier. And, I did the first couple games of Texas, and I was like, man, all this hype on Arch Manning might be overhyped. Like I said about Ashton Jeanty, right? All this bus talk about Ashton Jeanty. If the vision don't change and you don't get a better offensive line. it could come through tuition, right? Because you got to have the players around you. And Arch Manning, bro, he changed it. He changed it around. But his athleticism is just special. It's just special for that kid to be so big and so fast, and with them long ass strides, and then with his accuracy getting better, and having another off season with probably the top quarterback coaches on the planet, his family, uncles, like, man, another year of that kid. This is my last night with Sigs too. Me too, man. What do I got in here? And I'm trying to keep it that way. Damn, I got a whole pack in this bitch. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Damn. Well, I'm gonna waste a lot. Hopefully I still have those 11. Kenny got dressed up and doesn't want to go anywhere. Why you get dressed up and not go nowhere? Why do the Raiders suck? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you also, kitty cat lover. I hope you accomplish and achieve your goals and dreams, and don't give up on who you are and who you want to become. Nice. Appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words. And then you have Mr. Gert that says Raiders suck. I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate those words. I could say it because I bleed silver and black. But unless you're a Raider fan, you shouldn't be able to come in here and say that. Nope, I just wanted to take pics. Now I'm going back to sweats. You got all dressed up to take pictures? Girl, I don't know about you sometimes. In my words of Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan till they get punched in the mouth. One of the greatest quotes of all time. All time. 100%. Everybody has a plan till they get punched in the mouth. And this year, Pete Carroll's mouth got pop, 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 pop. Tagged up in every single game. Everybody they coached against, he got lit up. Lit up. Even got some elbows thrown in there too. Stop spamming or you'll get snaked. Yes, it's too cold to go outside. Oh, come on, man. You got a heater in your car. You got a brand new 2000 and what, 25, 24. You good. Start it up, turn the heater on. I'm sure you can make it to the car from the house, from the door to the car, and then from the car to wherever you're going, right? It can't be that bad. Can't be that bad. Yo, we talked about it the other day when I was live, right? It was 70, the high was 74 degrees, and it got down that night to 9 degrees with the wind chill. 9 degrees, yo. It dropped like 60 something degrees in 5 hours. 5 hours. And I wonder why I can't breathe and why I've had a headache all day with a super bad migraine. That's why I keep taking these off. Because they do not help. What you say? It's 30 here. Cold as. What's the plan for the Raiders? Good question. Handoff out of the backfield. Oh, when he gets drilled by the safety. Just needed one man to miss. The planning for the Raiders. My plan for the Raiders, if I'm GM, I'm moving on from Pete Carroll. I'm moving on from Geno Smith. I'm getting Brendan and Nate Carroll out of the building. I am probably doing something stupid and seeing if Patrick Graham, maybe he wants to take over this coaching staff. I'm going to interview him, see what his plans are, who he would bring in to turn this team around first and foremost, because I think Patrick Graham deserves it. And then I'm talking to every single coach that's out there and available. And I'm interviewing everybody. And I'm finding the best coach with the best plan that is down with what Spytek and Brady are trying to do. And if I'm John Spytek, I'm saying, let me pick my coach. and let him pick his staff, right? And if he doesn't want these guys that are already in the building, then it's time to move on from them also. And then I'm trading back to the New York Jets because they probably want Mendoza. And from the little birdie that's in my ear says the Jets are all in on Mendoza and will do anything to get Mendoza. Well, they can't get to the first overall pick. So the next best thing, touchdown, Jeremiah Smith. And Ohio State could be back in the game, but there is a penalty flag down. And it's going to be a hold on the offense. Oh, on the defense. Hold on the defense. Touchdown. Decline. It is 17-14. And Ohio State with 13 minutes left is back in the game. So, anyways, what I would do is, if the people I'm talking to are right and the New York Jets are really all in on Mendoza, and that is their guy. They are dead set, kind of like the Bears were on Caleb Williams, kind of like the Washington Commanders. Hey, I called them the Commanders and not the Redskins. See, it's a new year. It's changing. The Washington Commanders with JD5, right? They knew that that was their guy, and they weren't coming off of him. Same thing with the New England Patriots. They knew they wanted Drake May. Like, if you're 100% sold that that's your guy, and that's the Jets guy, then you take what they got to offer and you move back. It's 2 spots, right? And you build this team for the future. And then you go get a guy like Malik Willis in the offseason, or you just say, this is going to be a rebuild year, and we're rocking with Aiden O'Connell. And if Aiden O'Connell shows you enough to compete next year, that's fine. You draft a quarterback this year somewhere, and you let them compete with Cam Miller that's already in the building. But you got to get a coach in the building that's not going to have favoritism. You can't have a guy that comes in and says, okay, I'll take over this team. We won't draft a quarterback, but I'm getting my guy in free agency. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You got to be willing to come in with what we got and build not from the ground up, because there are some pieces, right? So that's the plan. That's the plan. Fire the head coach, get a new head coach, and find somebody that's on the same page. But it's going to be hard because with Tom Brady being a part-time owner, right? I heard somebody say something that made a lot of sense. If you're coming to take this head coaching job and you already talked to people that were in the building, say you call Chip Kelly and say, should I take this job? Why shouldn't I? Why should I? If those people have lots of reasons why you shouldn't take this job, right? If they fire Pete Carroll and somebody picks up the phone, somebody's agent picks up the phone and says, what is the deal in Vegas? Why did it not go right, right? And they all point to Tom Brady. It might be hard getting somebody to coach this team. It might be a lot harder than we think, because we've already seen from what's going on this year. Somebody said that every decision that has to be made, whether it's personnel, whether it's benching somebody, whether it's firing coaches, everybody says the same thing. Well, what's Tom going to think about it? So Mark Davis has already presented Tom Brady in the building, right? We all remember Mark Davis had everybody that worked in the building all standing on the balconies, standing on the stairs, right? This big, huge ovation for Tom Brady when he came in the building. There's a reason for that. Mark Davis has everybody bought in on Tom Brady, and everybody answers to Tom Brady from what I'm getting. So there's not too many coaches that are willing to take a first-time job or even a second or third-time job, knowing that you got to answer to not only Spytech, and Spytech doesn't have balls enough or enough power to say, look, any problems you got, you call me. Tom Brady, I'll deal with him, right? And until that gets solved, I think we're going to have the same problems no matter who's coaching. Unless you get in a guy like Gruden that says, I need all control, we might have a problem, Houston. We might have a problem. QB in this draft, Mendoza or Dante Moore. Go back and watch my last 15 lives. No, I'm just kidding. But really, they are in the last 15 lives. I don't know. I pass on both of them. honestly. If Dante Moore came out this year, I would be way more reluctant to draft him unless he's willing to sit for 2 years because he doesn't have enough snaps, right? He hasn't played enough college snaps to know that he can handle the pressure. He's great under the blitz, right? He's like a 73% accuracy this year when it comes to the blitz. Last year it was 54%, so that's a big jump. It makes a huge difference. But the amount of snaps scares me with Dante Moore. I think he's got that Caleb Williams. That's a nice ass throw by Carson Beck. He's got that, that Caleb Williams type number one energy where he can do everything. But I just want to see more of it, right? There's not enough on film. A lot of people, they'll go through and they'll watch 10 or 15 snaps in a row of a game to kind of see, get a feel like, is this dude consistent? Is he not consistent? But I think Dante Moore is way more of a upside, I guess, than Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza against Ohio just didn't impress me. He didn't impress me. And I talked about this last night also. Stuffed in the backfield. You ain't going nowhere. I talked about this last night also, right? The fact that Mendoza has 33 touchdowns. 27 of them come from teams with no ranked defense, with a losing record, but against teams with winning records and ranked defense. He has 6 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. That's not elite. That is not Heisman Trophy material. When the big games come up and your game gets worse, that's red flags for me. That's red flags for me. But as far as the mentality, the toughness, the work ethic, Fernando Mendoza could be him. Damn, look at Carson Beck running 15 yards for the first down. He is on a mission. Look, if Carson Beck keeps playing like this, bro, I don't know how you could tell me that Mendoza's way better than Carson Beck. I mean, if we're looking at stats, right? And I know every team is different, but if we're looking at stats, if we're looking at gameplay, Mendoza didn't play like this against Ohio State. Carson Beck is shredding this defense right now. They're running the ball on him. He's passing the ball. Like, he's running the ball himself. I see Carson Beck right now having a better game against Ohio State than Mendoza did. They already got 17 on the board. Well, they put up 13 at Indiana. So, I don't know, man. I think their defenses are very close. And I think Mendoza might be overhyped. And if I'm being honest, we've heard the comparisons to Goff. We've heard the comparisons to we heard the comparisons to Goff. We heard the comparisons to Kirk Cousins, right? And now some people are comparing them to Mark Sanchez. And I think that might be a thing, right? You don't get too many Hispanic quarterbacks coming in the draft or Heisman Trophy winner. And sometimes the hype just might be more than it's worth. Now, I've watched film, and I'm still in the process of watching film, and I think he's going to be a star in the NFL. I just don't know if I'm drafting him number one. Reese inside. 10 minutes left. 17-14. Beck drops in the pocket, steps up, throws, and his receiver can't catch the ball. 4th and 5 in Ohio State. Here they come. Here they come. Bang, bang, booty gang. Fuck the Liners. Are you going to stream for a while, Rebel? I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on here. What time is it? What time is it? 9 o'clock? Yeah, I'll probably be on until this game's over. And then I'm going to take a little break, and then I'll pop back on to ring in the new year with everybody. But when I pop back on, it's going to be harder to find me. I won't be on the short feed. I will be on the computer this time, so I could, pull some shit up, because we're going to go over some roster talk, and we're going to go over the Pete Carroll press conference, because I thought that Pete Carroll press conference was the end of Pete Carroll. I think it's pretty much known. Raider Nation for life. Raiders. Dude, I just won the Super Bowl with my Raiders in my franchise. Fighters Club. What's good, man? Shout out to you winning the Super Bowl. Maybe if more people win the Super Bowl with their franchise on Madden, that maybe it'll come to tuition that the Raiders start winning some damn Super Bowls. How long left in the game? Seahawk Nation, baby. Anybody want a Seahawk jersey? I got one. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I don't even know how I ended up with it. I'm not even sure. It's a I don't even know who it is. But I don't know. I searched gayest person on the planet, and this channel showed up. I know you searched the wrong motherfucking search chat, bro. Shit, you got me twisted. Now, I guarantee you wouldn't say that shit in real life. There is only one nation. That's Raider Nation. Yep, after 31. Raider Nation for life. Even though it's funny that even though we the worst franchise in the NFL, they still want to be like us. Everybody wants to be a nation, right? Everybody, they still want to be like us. Like, why? If the Raiders are so bad, why y'all want what we have? Y'all can't get what we have, bro. You can't have what we have. Raiders are low key, kind of good. Got fire players. I mean, we got some decent guys. We just don't know how to use them. And the future is bright as hell, bro. The future is bright as hell. Spytek's last draft was nice. Spytek's last draft was very nice. You got Ashton Genty, future. You traded back. Got Jack Besh, future. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say something that most of y'all going to be like, this motherfucker smoked too much weed. The refs are paid. Ohio State is driving with 10 minutes left. And this game has become a whole nother ball game. The youngster, Julian saying, is just saying. He is just saying on the comeback. What? What'd you say? But they do got some fire players. I mean, if you look at the draft, like I said, Ashton Genty, Jack Besh, right? Good pick. Traded back for Jack Besh, we got more capital. You got Caleb Rogers, you got Charles Grant. Those four picks are damn good picks. Shout out to the gift, whatever you say. And then you go behind that, right? You got Dante Thornton with the number one receiver in the building and somebody that he can learn from. I believe the future is bright for Dante. I don't think it's next year. I think it's possibly one more year. But before his 4-year, contract is up, I guarantee you Dante Thornton is going to be one of them ones if we get the right coaching staff. That's 5 out of that draft. Then you go to the next. Tonka Hemingway. Tonka Hemingway is starting to show flashes at the little, damn, my eyes are low. Can you see me? I can't see y'all. My eyes got tiny, bro. Tonka Hemingway has showed he can do this at the next level, kind of like Jonah Laulu, another prospect that going into his third year. We have some talent, and we're gonna break down the roster later on tonight. But we have some talent, man. Tonka Hemingway, like I said, JJ Pegues. If you get a damn smart coach in here and they put JJ Pegues at fullback once in a while, let him open some holes for AJ the Silver Surfer. It's different. It's different. Catch Jeremiah Love, and they are inside the red zone or a couple yards out. 8 minutes left. Ohio State is on the drive. So yeah, we got some players. He don't do that shit, bro. He does smoke dabs and weed. Hey, what's your opinion on Max Crosby getting shut down for the season? I think it was 100% the right move. 100%. If you look at all the players that have had ACL injuries, all the players that have had Achilles injuries this season, you've won 2 games this year. What is the point? Deep pass, overthrown. What is the point to play a Max Crosby? To risk being injured even more and missing him to the start of the season next year. It just doesn't make sense to play him. And you have to hold Max Crosby, away from himself. He's been playing with a knee that he has to get drained like every couple of weeks. From what I hear, right? Little birdie in my ear says, it's been hard for him to make it to the games to play in. Sometimes he's had to have his knee drained. That's why it's always wrapped up. That's why he doesn't practice all week. So it was the smartest thing they could do, right? They should have done it 3 weeks ago, really. But just out of respect for Max Crosby, and he's got goals he wants to set, right? He's got to get so many sacks to get a bonus. You got to get so many tackles for a loss to get your other bonus, right? I'm sure those are in his contract. Also, you want to be, you want to stay in his goals to be the greatest of all time, right? And you don't want to take that away from him by making him sit games. It kind of sucks that way that, the last 2 games are going to take away from his stats of trying to be the greatest Raider of all time. But it's not about him. It's about the Shield and getting this franchise better. And with better people around him, with better draft picks, with a better offense that stays on the field longer, Max is going to become a better player. So I believe it was the right decision to keep him from himself. They just need a quarterback. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. They need a lot more than that. They need a quarterback at oh, that almost got picked. Carnell Tate could not hold on. Who was in coverage? Banks? Who was that? Who was that masked man? This defense for Miami is playing lights out. The ref's been paid. They haven't called a pass interference at all. It's ridiculous. They're letting them play, bro. It's the college football championships, and they're gonna let them battle. But it's been both ways on that. Oh, got a helmet right in you. Ding ding. Get your face out of his nuts, bro. Hooper got his face all up in his satch. Wild. All right, in the gun. Drops back. Pressure. He's going to take off. Oh, and I don't know why you threw that. That's a rookie mistake. That's a freshman move. He had field to run, and he throws it behind him to the check down that he was in front of. It doesn't make sense. I would trade the first pick to the Jets if Dante Moore isn't in the draft. I do believe. I believe he would fall to the number 3 spot in the draft. We also pick another first round from the Jets. The Jets have 2 first-round picks. I agree, man. I agree. So you're saying trade with the Jets? Trade with the Jets to the number 3 spot and then take Moore? Dante Moore at 3? I wouldn't be mad at that. But you gotta be damn sure that he's not just a product of the system in Oregon, right? And I think we'll learn that tomorrow in these bowl games. What he can do. He's been without his number 1 receivers, right? The last couple, most of the season, the starting receivers have been hurt. They've had a lot of injuries over there, and he has it. But like I said, It's suicide for these dudes to enter the draft when you don't have at least 25 starts underneath your belt. If you just look at the stats and the statistics, and we talked about it last night, and we've talked about it all week long, like the statistics just show by the numbers that if these guys don't have the experience, it's 2 or 3 years, sometimes 4 or 5 years before they get it in the NFL. And by then, they're already cut and on to another team, 2 other teams, 3 other teams before they find the right fit, the right coordinator, and the people that can, build the team around their strengths. And the Raiders have had a problem for their whole entire franchise of building around quarterback strengths. They failed to do it with Derek Carr. They did it a little bit with Rich Gannon. They did it with, I guess they did it with Jim Plunkett, but he didn't really have a lot of weapons on the offense either, right? That was the defense was just nasty. His defense was nasty. He got a lot of attempts. But yeah, if you could trade with the Jets, pick up more capital, and score you a Dante Moore with the third overall pick, I ain't frowning on that. I'm not frowning on that at all. But I would much rather trade that first overall pick, drop down to 3 or wherever the Cardinals are at, 5. I wouldn't even mind trading with the Cardinals at 5. And if nobody's there that you're 100% of the future, shit, I wouldn't mind trading that pick again, right? I wouldn't mind trading back twice. And if you could trade back twice and stay within the top 15, I mean, shit, you'll have what, 3 picks in the first round? I mean, if you can get 3 picks in the first round, I don't care where they are. I'm taking those. That's going to change the franchise around quickly. Because the top 50 players are usually where it's at. And a lot of these scouts are wrong. So you can get gems, right? Like Nick Eamon-Worry. If you follow this channel, shout out to the people that do and stick with your boy. Nick Eamon-Worry, right? I talked about it. I said this man is a difference maker. He's definitely worth a top 10 pick in the NFL. But that, you don't draft safeties in the top 10. This man was worth a top 10 pick, bro. Nick Eamon-Worry is a big, big reason the Seattle Seahawks defense is what it is. He can cover so much of the field. He makes plays. He's fast. He's physical. And I thought it was a perfect Pete Carroll fit, but he fell to what, like 18, 19, 20? Seattle got a steal when they got Nick Eamon-Worry, right? The other guy I wanted, Jahad Campbell, the linebacker, fell all the way to 31, and the Eagles jumped up a spot, and they went and got him. He's played his ass off this year, right? His PFF grade is still in the 80s, right? The bottom of the round. There's guys you can get. Imagine if you got a Nick Eamon-Worry and a guy like, kind of the caliber of a Jahad Campbell in this draft. And there's guys like that, right? You get a CJ Allen, you can get a Jacob Rodriguez, and you can get a Caleb Downs. If you get 2 of those guys on your defense with Max Crosby and the front that we got, it's a different team, man. It's a different team. Yo, Raiders, forever Ashton Genty. I don't know about forever. The Raiders are very, 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 very known for not keeping players in the building, right? And moving on from guys way too quick. That's a problem. So hopefully we get a coaching staff, and I believe Spytek, ball at the 30, handoff. Oh, big play up the middle, up to the 50. Good Lord, just gashing this Ohio State defense. I really thought they had more dogs on this defense. But again, maybe it was just the level of competition Ohio State was playing. We could get Lamar or George Pickens. I don't know. I know there's a lot of Lamar Jackson talk. I just don't feel like they move on from Lamar unless they have a plan. And I don't know what that plan would be. So, and I'm done with retreads, bro. I don't want no quarterback that's been in the NFL for 5-6 years, no matter how good he was. I mean, Joe Burrow, I might make an exception for. But the injury factors, the running factor, the mobility factor of Lamar, I just think it's too high of a risk. too high of a risk, especially if you're trading Crosby because that's the only way you're getting him. Pickens, I don't mind Pickens. He's a part-time player, right? He seems like a diva, like a lot of people said Devontae Adams was, which I disagreed. Look how he's doing with the Rams. Um, but Pickens, man, he's up and down. He'll have great games, and then he has games where he's not. If he's not the feature of every single play, he don't give 110%. But when he does, if you can get a coach to get George Pickens to give 110% every single snap, he's one of the best in the NFL, really. He just don't have that dog mentality to want to be that. There's a really large turd in this jar of grape jelly. That's disgusting, bro. That's disgusting, bro. Only 6 minutes left. It's getting close. It's getting close. Miami looks like they can do it. They have the ball on the 45-yard line. Carson Beck, quick pass, caught. That's a first down. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. Mano in the second round. If you don't pick up a quarterback in the first. Mano? Who's Mano? Who's Mano? Mano who? What you mean Mano? I don't know Mano. Nicky Mori was in the second round, but the Raiders traded back. What? Oh, did he not get drafted in the first round? Then that was a big mistake if the Raiders didn't move up to get him. He was there in the second, but they traded back? That's horrible. Damn, dragging people for the first down. Miami's running backs have been special today. I wanted Raiders to take him, but they traded back. Like, what the fuck? Oh, that's right. He was right there, huh? And they traded back to get Jack Besh. They moved farther back to get Besh. Yeah, that wasn't a great move. Hopefully Besh can make up for that. Candy, you in the chat? I'm going outside to smoke pre-roll outside with my headset on. Nice. Do I like the Chiefs? Not even a little bit. Nah. I dislike them very much. All right, coming up on a 2-minute warning. The clock will tick down to 2 minutes, 17-14. Miami and Carson Beck is on the march for the upset. Who you got? Do they pull it off? Who's your favorite team? Who's your favorite player on the Raiders all time? That is a lot of a big ass question. I would have to say Aiden O'Connell. Antonio Maffi. I don't know, bro. I don't know. There's a lot. Most of them weren't Raiders very long, right? I really liked Bill Romanowski just because I'm that intense, brawling type dude that likes to fight to the death and likes to impose bodily harm on people. So I like those dudes like Lyle Alzado, like Ronnie Lott, like a lot of guys that we brought in that we didn't draft that were physical, that were before my time. So I don't have a favorite player. I have about 40. But if I really had to narrow it down, like the person I rooted for the most, it's like Plunkett and Howie Long, Marcus Allen, Tim Brown, Charles Woodson, like those kind of guys. Bo, I can't pick one, man. I can't. I just can't. I can't do it. Even if you paid me, I couldn't come up with one. Snipe somebody. Who we sniping? How about them cowgirls? I mean, I like cowgirls in boots. I like them with short shorts. I like them in skirts. I like some cowgirls. I like me some cowgirls. But as far as them Cowboys, nah, I don't know nothing about them, bro. I don't know. They're a bottom feeding team with a high ass roster. Nope, he was right there in your lap. That was all Pete Carroll. Yes. He doesn't mod random people. I missed that. I didn't even see that. Who has to be a mod? You have to be over 18 to be a mod in my channel. And you have to be here every day as much as possible for at least a minute. I got to get to know you, know your personality, right? Know who you are before I could let you run my channel. You shouldn't have control of who comes and goes if I don't even know who you are, what type of person you are. Crazy talk. Crazy talk. And he's definitely not mine. Well, that's that. I think she summed it up. Cowboys fan? You want to be a mod? Nah, bro. Nah, bro. We can't do that. We can't do that. But thanks for wanting to be, though. It's inspiring. How's McDonald doing in this game since he can snag him late in the first if we trade back? I don't know how he's doing. I wish they would have had this game on the other channel so I could have the stats up. Wait, let me see if I can get stats on this one. Oh yeah, scores and stats. What the hell? What am I doing here? What am I doing here? You mean I could have had scores and stats up this whole time? What kind of YouTuber am I here? I'm supposed to be commentating the game. I'm not even commentating. I think I've called like 8 plays. But damn, I got some stats I can pull up right here. They're not up yet. Well, I lied. Fuck. You gotta wait till the game's over before I get stats, I guess. I don't know. Key plays, scores. Some bullshit. It doesn't even say the game started yet. I don't know what's going on here. I don't have no stats for you, damn it. I tried. Maybe next time I gotta start them before the game. I don't know. My brother is a huge Raiders fan. They need a franchise quarterback. I mean, it would help. It would definitely help. If you look around the teams around the NFL that are constantly in the playoffs, they have a franchise quarterback. It would be nice. It would be nice. But I don't know if it's worth spending a first overall pick on a franchise quarterback when there's only one. Bo Jackson. Did I forget Bo? Damn. Well, Bo knows. So he knows he was in there. My girlfriend told me that I need to stop singing. What? I'm a believer. She said she dumped me. I thought she was joking. Then I saw her face. All right, I give you credit. It was okay, bro. And you're gonna get that stupid ass song stuck in my head. First down, huge play on this. Huge play. Daniels Jr. mopping it up. And that might be it. That might be it for Ohio. That was pretty funny, Buddy Lee. That was pretty funny. You saw her face, now you're a believer. I get it. Was in the hospital with John Matuzak? Why was he in the hospital? What? That's cool. Did you make a friend? Did you get his number and shit? It's always good to network with people that have higher influences than you and more money. That's always a good thing too. What time are you coming back on here in your next live, Rebel? I do not know. I don't know. It might only be for a minute or two if I do go live. It's 9:43. New Year's is obviously midnight here, but 11 o'clock on the East Coast. So try to be on by 11. I don't know. No guarantees, though. No guarantees. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and tickle the noti. I'm going to stream and bake cookies. All right, peace out. Bake your cookies. I'm sure that was a while ago that you already said that. I'm way behind. That's literally the lyrics. No shit. No shit. You got it. Hey, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You actually got that song. Nice. That's messed up for you to put that out there, bro. You got got that shit stuck in my head now. Cha-ching! We shook up the world. Shook up the world. Nice. Shook up the world. Right? Man. What's your cop on that? What'd you say? 45 G's or some shit? Stop playing. If you win 45,000, damn. Can I get a loan? Okay. Touchdown, Ohio State. I mean, fake. Miami. I know y'all was shitting, huh? Touchdown, Miami. And this game is a wrap. And not a wrap like a Hot Pocket. You want cookies now? F the Raiders, man. Don't come in here talking that shit. You dare come in here. It's a new year. Can't be like that. To the goalie for you. You need some personal time in the pen. It's only 10 seconds, bro. Don't be mad. 45,000 on the for real? Damn. Damn. That's legit. So what do you need to happen? You need Ole Miss just to win, or what? That's legit. That's legit. 45,000. Damn. So yeah. I'll take 2%. 2%. I'm got to get dressed up and go out with my daughter. Nice. Hell yeah. Celebrate the hell out of it. Where y'all going? You got something special they're gonna do? The rest of the people in the chat, where are y'all going? What are y'all doing for New Year's Eve? Are you staying here rocking with your boy about in an hour or two when I come back on? You gonna go out? You bang pots and pans, you light off fireworks, you shoot guns. What y'all do? Let me know in the comments. What y'all do on New Year's? What's your New Year's pet peeve that you do every year, tradition, however you want to call it? Staying home. Have a good night, sir. Be safe. I know, I want cookies now too. Damn it. It's gonna be random chocolate chip, peanut butter, M&Ms, coconut sprinkles, toffee, basically everything but the kid. What kind of cookie is that? What the fuck? Yo, that's not a cookie. You gotta pick one, bro. You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one. The cookie is called everything but the kitchen sink. Well, obviously, because you're putting everything but the kitchen sink in it. I mean, makes sense. Makes sense. That's gonna be a sweet ass cookie. That's gonna be so sweet. You should send all of us. You should send all of us a New Year's Eve packet and send us some cookies. Hit me up on IG. I'll give you my address. Wait, you already know my address, but you should hit everybody in this chat. They should get a present on New Year's. There's 12 people in here. 3 cookies apiece. It's not too much to ask, right? Go Birds. Come on, you trying to get blocked on New Year's Eve too? Intercepted, and that is it. Julian saying is not saying much. See you next year. See you next year. This game is over, and Lawrence has one game left to become the big dog. The big dog. Damn. Crazy. Crazy. You don't know where I live. Stop. Pay for shipping, you'll send some out. Yeah, no, coconut? No, I don't want. You could keep your cookies. You could keep your cookies. Oh, oh. Why'd you make me think of that? Now I can't stop smelling coconut. Why would you ruin a cookie with all that good stuff in it to put coconut flakes? That's just wrong. That's just wrong. You know what you're doing to that cookie? You're trying to kill all the flavors. All the flavors. Former Hurricane Ray Lewis. Bro, did they just compare Ruben Bain to Ray Lewis? Or Sonny Styles? Because if they're comparing Sonny Styles, oh no, he's on. Who the hell they comparing to Ray Lewis? To you is back, bro. Miami, the U, right? That's what all the players say in the NFL. Shout out to the 16 people in here rocking with your boy Zoe. Are you getting up here? Trying to bake already? Go bake then. Go Raiders, go Raiders, go Raiders, go Raiders, go Raiders. Let's go Raiders. Hey Rebel, can you come into my chat and say hi? In a while, I bake. Nebraska Raiders. Raider fans are worldwide, bro. I love it. I love it when people come in from Georgia, from Nebraska, from Ohio, from Miami. They come in everywhere screaming Raiders. I love it. I love it. Cheers to you, my brother. Happy New Year. Happy late holidays. I hope everybody has a prospering 2026. I can't believe it's already 2026. I'm getting older by the minute. I am 3 months away from 51. I'm over 50, bro. I'm gonna be over 50 in 3 months. That's devastating to me. That's devastating. That hurts. That hurts a lot. That hurts a lot. I thought I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay 50. I don't think I'm telling anybody from now on. When you talk to me in 10 years, it'd be like, damn, Rebel, how old are you? I'm gonna be like 50. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna stay at 50. It's a good spot, right? It's a good spot to be at. I think I'm gonna skip birthdays from now on. Military draft. What? Are we going to war again? Are they starting the draft? I'm down. I mean, shit. I'm down. Carson Beck, 19 for 26, only 138 yards and a touchdown. Not the greatest of games. They relied on their defense. They relied on the run game a lot. And they're going to have to do a little bit better coming up in these next couple games if they win the next one, because their defense is great. And you put up 24. But you got to get a little bit better. You got to get a little bit better stats from your quarterback. But no interceptions, no turnovers, nice game manager. There's a lot of teams in the NFL that can use a game manager. Rebel, you've been in an accident. They would not drive you. You have bad issues. What? That don't matter. It don't matter. They wouldn't take me when I tried to enlist when I was 18 either. They wouldn't take me. I could not pass the psyche test. They said, bro, this dude is out to do some rebel shit. This dude is out to do some rebel shit. He's not going to listen. He will not fall in line. And therefore, we cannot have you. We can. Nah, but they really told me. I have asthma, apparently. It didn't bother me playing football, baseball, basketball, or running track. It's never bothered me my whole life. But apparently, it was enough for them to say, "Nah, we are not taking you." When I tried to enlist, so they probably wouldn't take me now either, because I guarantee you, if I had asthma then, with all the resin that's in these lungs, shit. I don't, unless they could put me in as a driver, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing shit. Rewind 1989, Raider Nation. Sorry, it's all about the 12th man, but Happy New Year's. It is all about the 12th man. And we have the greatest 12th man on the planet. They wouldn't let my brother join the military because of his scoliosis in the spine. Also, they wouldn't have let him be in the. Damn, that's messed up. Bussy reveal at midnight. What does that mean? The hell is Bussy? Who's Bussy? What's a Bussy? I don't know. I don't know. But man, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. All of y'all. If I don't see you again, have a happy, happy New Year. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your mind, your family. Always love one another. Watch out for everyone around you. And as always, have a happy and blessed 2026. I hope all your dreams come true and you prosper and grow. And just go Raiders. Just go Raiders. So, on the way out or after this video, pop back in. Let me know your New Year's resolution. We will try to talk about them Monday or Tuesday of everybody's New Year's resolution and see 2 days after the first if anybody stuck to them. So, thank you all. Thank you all. I appreciate you. I love every single one of you. As always, you already know from the bottom of my heart. From New Mexico, there's lots of fans here. Shout out, man. Tell them to follow Raiders Unleashed. Raiders. Peace. I'll see y'all again in a bit.